Alright, so I'm told we're getting ready to switch over right now. Before we do that, we have two more donations. One from Taylor & Co. with $5.65 to say, this isn't the big donation I wanted to make, but every dollar counts. Keep being awesome and let's reach $5,000. Totally agreed. Every dollar counts. And with that in mind, we have Endosoma with $5 saying, aw yeah, Skuru time. Congratulations to all the floofy runners. Now it's time to protect the beefy good wolf. Oh, and Olo Midna, putting this towards Epona being named Daytona! Let's go away.
So there's that. Oh, of course we're live now. That's great.
Hey guys.
What's up?
Hello.
Is Wolflink able to pee on things, or is that just Okami?
That's just Okami, unfortunately. That would be pretty great, though.
Unfortunately.
Alright, I think that's my cue to step out. Have fun, guys. Take it away.
Am I gonna
Thanks
get
so much,
dragged?
dude.
Oh, hello.
All right, did we come up with the naming incentives? What were those donos at? What are we looking at?
Let me refresh real quick, see what we've got. Alright, for our main character name at $250, Link is named Revali.
R-E-V-A-L-I?
R-E-V-A-L-I.
All right.
Neat. I'm imagining Link facepalming extremely hard right now.
I mean, whatever works. That's what the viewers wanted. That's what we're gonna do. And Epona's name?
Epona's name is Link. L-I-N-K.
Who does this? Okay.
And this is where Link just starts taking damage.
Alrighty, guys, so let's get this started. I am Skuruwolf. I speedrun Twilight Princess HD any percent. I really appreciate you all coming out to this charity event. I am ready to go when you guys are. I can give the countdown.
We're all set.
Yep, I'm set over here.
Doing introductions?
Oh, yeah, introductions. Couch,
Hi.
you want to go?
Oh, Couch, go.
Hi, my name's Ian. I'm gonna be commentating as well.
Hi, my name's TK. Pleasure to be here. I am not a speedrunner, but I am excited for everything that's coming up, and I'm ready to be as wowed as you all.
Is that the Couch?
That's the couch, and go ahead, Vol.
And hello, I'm Sean Chiplock, SonicMega. I'll be your host for this run, and I love Twilight Princess because it gave me the best Wii game since Resident Evil 4, and that's Link's crossbow training. Let's go.
Alrighty. So we'll start the timer, and we'll go on go, and I'm going to start at 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah, so the first 40 minutes of the run, we're going to just pretty much be doing it like you would in a casual playthrough. Up until we get the Gale Boomerang, you're not going to see much. We're going to try and do things quickly and efficiently, optimizing movement, optimizing what we're doing. Yeah, once we get the Gale Boomerang, you will kind of see... all bets will be off, let's say that.
Yeah, the game actually picks up a lot after you get the Gale Boomerang. The first 40 minutes is pretty much just like normal gameplay for the most part. Just like really optimized movement, like Skuro said. So he's just going to be going through the first 3 days of Ordon, so hurting the goats, and saving the kids from the monkey, and then continuing on.
I felt like I was watching a Sonic game with all that rolling going on.
Yeah, trust me,
There's a lot of
going to
that.
be a lot of rolling.
Yeah.
A lot of rolling. I had my dad guest on stream back in May, and he has not played a video game since the 70s with Pong. And he's like, why did they even animate Link's legs? And I'm like, yeah, that's a very valid question.
Why do they even animate Link's legs?
I mean, he just rolls everywhere. Then I got on opponent. He's like, well, why isn't the horse rolling? And I'm like, okay,
Because
yeah,
you can't spell legend without leg.
it's very true. And of course, we're gonna get some gnarly goats here.
So goats in TP and TPHD, both versions, they're pretty RNG heavy. If you do the right movements, usually they work and they go into the barn, but sometimes there's that one little goat that just doesn't get in there, and you can see that right here.
We got the worst possible goat. If we get a goat on the right side, like on the other side, it's nice and easy to fix, but that is the slowest goat to fix.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. Pretty bad luck, but that's okay.
Well, yeah, marathon luck, right? What can you say?
Yep.
Boo illustration in chat says, I don't know how to animate Epona rolling, but I want to.
Boo's great. Boo's one of my mods in my stream. I love Boo.
I would love to see a speedrun animation just showing Epona rolling around at the speed of sound. Oh my god.
No. It needs to be done now. Yeah, see, like, that normally in a run would have been a reset. But
Oh, yeah,
this is a
definitely.
marathon. There are no resets in marathon runs.
So he's actually already done with day 1. There's 2 more to go. Day 2, I think, is the longest one of them all. So he's going to be getting some items, and in general, like I said earlier, he's just going to be progressing the storyline. So
Yeah,
Oh.
it's pretty straightforward here. We're gonna catch a fish, grab a slingshot, grab the wooden sword, tutorial that out, and then kind of be on our way into the forest.
also, something I want to mention is I believe in the HD version you can do something called buffering. So what he actually just did it right there. So if you hold like the A button out of like unpause leg, then he'll actually roll in the first possible frame, and he's going to be doing that to do a few text skips along the run that you probably won't even notice. But I'll try to point them out when I see them.
Thank you so much, Ian. That's actually a really good thing to mention.
Yeah, of course.
Skuru, since it's early in the run, did we want to talk about the bid war incentive?
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
So you said you have a special name for Twilight Princess.
Yeah, so I refer to it as Toilet Princess. One of the main dungeons being the Palace of Toilet. I've never liked that dungeon casually or speedrunning. And you know, I think we can come up with some better names for TP than Toilet Princess. What do you think?
I think it not only for TP, because it's Twilight Princess HD, we could do TP HD. So, chat, this is your notification. Let's get a donation bid war going. If you had to name the words for TPHD, what would you choose? Do you put your donations in? Tell us what you would choose. For example, it could be Temporal Pancake Heckin' Doggo, or Temporary Pants Hero Danger, or my current favorite, Temple Pig Horror Darkness.
Oh my god.
So,
Those are all way better than anything I can come up with, let me tell you. Holy cow.
I will keep tabs. Get your donations in. Tell us what you would say TPHD would mean, and at the end, I will name what the official new name is based on what the highest donation is, or which name gets the most donations. So.
Another nice thing about TPHD versus the GameCube version is that there's a lot of like small quality of life changes that the developers changed. So for example, in the original version of this game, you'd actually have to catch a fish twice. They
Yes.
cut that out. So you only have to do that once. And you're gonna actually see that a lot in the Twilights. If you've played the GameCube version, you'll notice a difference when we get to the Twilights, that there's actually a lot less tiers that Skuro has to go and collect because the developers figured it was extremely repetitive. So they cut out a lot of just tedious stuff in this version of the game, which is nice.
Yeah, in the SD version, the GameCube version, there were 16 tiers per Twilight section, and now there's only 12. And honestly, that's probably my favorite quality of life improvement. That and rupee text. So every time you'd boot up the console, you would get like a rupee text, like, oh, here's a blue rupee, and like,
Yeah.
oh wow, you got a blue rupee the next time you powered on the console. They took that out too. Now it's only the very first time you actually collect those rupees.
Yeah, and they seem like small changes, but they're actually pretty big, especially when you play this game a lot.
Especially when you spend thousands of hours playing this game, that is true.
Yeah, you know.
I think they kept it in the new Link's Awakening game though. Every time you pick up more than like 5 rupees, it tells you, no matter how many times you've done.
Oh, really? That's... Ugh, dude.
I know that they kept that in. Oh my gosh, I'm blanking on the name. Skyward Sword every single time. Thank you for letting me know what item this is, and thank you for showing me where it goes in my inventory.
Yeah, honestly, Skyward Sword, like, I enjoyed it. I played through it once on the release year. I think I was in, like, grade 11, and I played through it in 3 or 4 days or something like that. Haven't played it since. I really want to, but, yeah, I don't know. Skyward Sword, it was a great game. I enjoyed it, but it got a little bit repetitive for me, like you were saying. And Fee as a companion character, not my favorite.
You don't like having a robot with no personality?
Honestly, I like Midna the best. I might be a little bit biased, though. But yeah, Midna for best companion character.
I'm more for the talking boat. So that guy's my favorite.
The king of the red line.
Biased, so.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say King of Red Lines is pretty good too.
I'd say Midna's the best because she can tell people talk to the hand and then actually do something about it.
She does have a big hand.
Hey chat, what do you think? Who's your favorite companion among the Zelda series?
Dinkelberg? I saw that in chat.
Oh my god.
My favorite companion is that baby with the gigantic eyes.
Man, Mallow is okay. That baby is creepy. If you play this game casually or do a 100% run, he opens a store. It's like, dude, I'm pretty sure you couldn't even reach the counter, and yet you're selling me stuff. Like,
that's cool.
He must do a good job, or else he must do a good job, or he'd get sued for malpractice.
I would say that's accurate. Yes, to the best of my knowledge. Yeah, so like I said, the first 40 minutes here are pretty straightforward. We're just kind of going through the motions of playing the game. No major tricks or skips up until we get into the Forest Temple. So you gotta bear with me here. I promise it gets better. Oh, and then there's me gesturing to my webcam that's not on right now.
Yeah, honestly, I think that was probably the most boring part of the entire intro. At least you actually do things at this point now. So we're gonna be going into Farron a lot for the next few minutes. And like I said, clearing Twilight. Like the first 40 minutes isn't really that bad. The first like 5-10 minutes is the worst part of it. I think it's a lot more interesting.
Definitely.
Especially when you pay attention to like just the optimal movement that he does.
Well, I mean, like mine, I'd say I have like okay movement. Definitely not optimal.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, you know, pretty optimal. Like, 9.9 out of 10.
Optimal over a casual run for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Dude, I didn't know Bob Ross made a cameo in this game.
He did. He also has a bird's nest in his hair. How's your head, Link?
So, speaking of movement techniques, do you have anything that you will be using throughout the run?
I do indeed.
Yeah.
Once we get the Gale Boomerang, we use a trick called a long jump attack, or an LJA. It's playing off the mechanics that Link does. When you target an enemy and do a jump slash, in previous Zeldas, you kind of just you do the jump slash in a set distance arc. In Twilight Princess, they're like, oh, well, the set distance arc kind of sucks, so we're gonna extend that to the enemy. So you kind of gain extra distance depending on how far you are from the enemy with the long jump attack. We're gonna exploit this with the Gale Boomerang, and then like Link targets it in the way he targets enemies. So we're gonna pull out our sword and use the Gale Boomerang to kind of get past, and skip parts of the game that you normally wouldn't be able to do. When doing an LJA, there are 3 conditions. You need to meet one of the 3 conditions. Either the Gale Boomerang's over a void, out of bounds, or targeting ground higher than Link. If you meet one of those 3 conditions, you will get the successful LJA. I can talk or give you a little bit of a refresher once we actually get the Boomerang, but that's going to be our main movement kind of exploit in this game.
Yeah, like long jump attacks save a ton of time throughout the run. So it's gonna be. I just think it's a really cool trick, and you're gonna actually see it in Forest Temple. Like right after he gets Gale Boomerang, he's gonna be doing a semi-big sequence break. So that's gonna be cool to watch.
Oh, thing of note, in this run, we actually completely skipped Fire Temple and Temple of Time. Both are great dungeons, and unfortunately, we're not gonna see them today.
So when I was watching your run the other day, I was able to see that the boomerang long jump technique. My eyes just like went twice as big when I saw how much you cut out of that.
Oh my goodness, I am playing like crap right now.
Look at that ugly little monkey, and there's an ape trapped in there with him too.
What do you consider that, an ape?
More
like a
monkey. A
I guess
monkette.
monkette,
Monkette.
perhaps.
That was a terrible movement, by the way. Got to get the chokes out nice and early so we can have a decent end game. Oh yeah, so I guess I could talk about my mashing technique here. So if you've ever held a gamepad in your hand, you know that on the side there's the left or the right trigger, and then you have your fingers kind of on the buttons. I vibrate the gamepad, alternating the right trigger and the B button during text. The right trigger counts as an A button in this game for whatever reason, so I get like double the text mashing just by kind of vibrating my hand on the controller. It sounds really bad, but honestly, it's a great technique, and we do use it quite a bit.
It's pretty insane because, like, if you're not paying attention to the text mashing, you won't notice it. But it's actually like so fast in TPHD. So, I mean, he clears most of the text like immediately. So.
Uh-oh, we got bad goats.
Yeah. I hate goats.
Can we get
Goats are
some
jerks.
jerks in the chat?
Oh, of course we get the one straggler. Please, please turn.
No, he's
there we
turning.
go.
He's turning. Yeah,
That's a little bit slow. We can work with it.
it's fine. Can't really do much when you get bad RNG.
Very true. Okay, it's almost time to be a Wolfie good boy here, though. That is the good news.
Done with the first 3 days almost, so that's nice. We're gonna be going on to a little bit of gameplay in Twilight and stuff like that. So.
Into the sewers.
Also,
a little bit more text first. Oh, go ahead, Ian. Sorry.
No, you're good. It's nice to mention that most of the cutscenes in TP you can skip. Like, there's a lot of different Zelda games, like with speedruns, where you can't really skip the cutscenes, and the cutscenes take a large portion of the speedrun. That's not the case in TP. You can skip pretty much all the cutscenes, and the text mashing is extremely fast. So it's pretty much always gameplay.
I love how we can skip most of the cutscenes, but the ones we can't, we complain about endlessly. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, I gotta watch the Squidna cutscene again. Ugh. But yeah, I can skip literally every other cutscene.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. TP's good.
Do we have time for a quick donation?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Because we got our first official name donation. Emperor Snow donated $5 and says, my vote for TPHD is Teenager Practicing Hillian Demolition.
That's pretty
Alright.
good.
Okay.
Is that Ganondorf in his emo phase?
Yes. I'm gonna say yes.
We just got a $25 anonymous donation also supporting that name. So now Teenager Practicing Hillian Demolition is up to $30.
We do destroy a lot of things, just thinking about it.
Lots of pots.
Lots of pots. Gotta get those rupees. Lots of grass, too. Okay, so I'm going to go for a frame perfect trick here. I'm gonna take 12 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Mash beat. Hold left, and we got box break. That is, I think it saves 20 frames. Like a fraction of a second.
Yeah. It's a pretty small time save, but it's cool if you get it. And there's no reason not to go for it. I mean, it's not like you're gonna lose time if you miss it, so.
Exactly. That's a fun little, like, bonus time save if you get it.
Yeah, something to do.
Normally I don't get it, so I'm kind of surprised and not complaining.
Alright, so right now he's in the sewers. So the main objective now is that he got past the first 3 days. He wants to essentially clear this part of the game, get back to Ordon, get the sword and shield, and then progress on to the first dungeon in the game. And then, like I said, once we get to Forest Temple, we're gonna get the Gale Boomerang, and it's gonna pick up a little bit. So that's where we're at right now.
We are at the mercy of a whole bunch of little 10-second cutscenes like this one.
Yeah.
All the way up the castle.
Ooh, I'm gonna... never mind. I'll bring it up when we get to it.
Save it for later.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, so I see chat going on about my dog. I have a 4-month-old puppy, and he likes to interrupt me while I'm speedrunning. I actually have him, he's being pet sat by my cousin today. I went and dropped him off right before this event. I was like, yeah, I don't think me having to chase down my dog eating my deodorant again is a great thing. I had a run die to that last week. Not the greatest moment. He didn't actually eat any of the deodorant, but there are some nice teeth marks in the plastic casing now.
Oh, we're
Yeah,
getting.
for a
At
tech
least it's
skip
got good
here.
hygiene.
Yeah, there's a tech skip you can get here. I don't know if I'm a little delayed. So
I don't think I got it. Oh, I got it.
okay, so he did get it. The first time he missed, but it was him trying to get it. It's actually really precise. Oh wait, no, never mind. You didn't miss at all. He got it first try. But if you break like the rocks without falling on a certain piece of the ground, you can skip like a small text box from Midna. It takes a few seconds. It's pretty precise, so.
Yeah, I've actually found that even if sometimes, like, if you hit the air trigger and don't break the rocks, you'll still get it, like we did just there. I honestly don't know. I didn't think that was gonna work.
Yeah,
But it did.
I didn't think it was gonna work either. That's why I thought you failed it, but it seemed to work.
And
Right
only-
here.
Oh, go ahead. Dan.
No,
Oh,
go
it's
ahead.
just- you're gonna explain the same thing I was, so go ahead, Ian.
Okay, so he's just gonna hold target and A out of this loading zone, and the TPHD has a version, like I said earlier, where it just registers your input on the first possible frame, and that's another small text skip. On the GameCube version, you have to time it or mash for it. Thankfully, on this version, you can just
Buffer it.
yeah, you can just buffer it, so it's 100% consistent and really easy.
Yeah, so I buffer an input out of Midna text when I'm doing jumps here, like right here, I buffer the input and we jump on the first possible frame. Again, in SD, you have to mash for that. You can do it on every Midna jump with text except for one in the Linear Twilight section.
Yep. So just like small time saves overall. I mean, you don't really have many items to do glitches with or sequence breaks, so the first 40 minutes, like I said, is just optimal movement, small text skips, things like that. So he's gonna go back to Ordon now and get the sword and shield.
We are going back to Ordon. Here we are back in Ordon, skipping all the cutscenes. Yeah, there are great cutscenes in this game. If you've never played it casually, I definitely recommend picking yourself up a copy and just playing through. It is a great story, great cinematics. Like
yeah,
this has been my favorite game of all time since I was 12 years old, and I might be a little bit biased because you get to be a wolf, but at the same time, it is a great game with a great story. Definitely recommend checking it out.
Yeah, I think they really did a phenomenal job, like making a pretty strong emotional connection with a lot of the characters in here.
Absolutely, they
For
did.
sure. So he wants to go steal the sword and shield. However, the villagers think that he's a monster, so he's gonna get assaulted by pretty much everybody in the village who will try to get a sword and shield, but he'll be okay.
Yeah, unlike Okami, they don't think we're the good guy.
Yeah, they're pretty scared.
So fun fact with this jump right here, I'm going to buffer the Midna text to get up on the roof. And then it looks like, if I do this properly, I'm going to jump out in the boonies. We just have to hit the air trigger, and the air trigger is pretty lenient for that little cutscene. I have missed it, though. It does happen. I've killed a run. I have killed this run in every way possible at one time or another. It just happens.
I guess story-wise, the reason why we need to get a sword and shield is just so that when we go human, we can have something to defend ourselves with.
Pretty much.
So, yeah, that's why we're grabbing this now.
Yeah, the story is laid out, like, I don't know, I love how the story is laid out in this game. It's like, oh, Midna's like, we might need this later kind of thing, save it for later, and then, yeah, oh, turns out we actually need it because we were going to be human again. They definitely played it off very well. So I avoid getting caught by Crystal there, avoid talking to the chicken. And
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
I have talked to that chicken so many times. I've also unintentionally read way too many signs in this game. Holy camola.
Yeah, it's easy too. Alright, that's pretty much it. He's gonna go to Fair and Twilight now. I think he has to kill a messenger as well, but...
Yeah, I do the intro messenger where I kill one, and then we kind of head into the Faron Woods, and we do the tutorial messenger where there's 3 of them.
Right.
And then we're kind of on our way collecting the Tears of Light.
How exactly do you kill the first messenger? Is it 2 quick spins?
Yeah, you can do 2 quick spins, you could do 2 B charges, whatever works.
Okay,
I
cool.
usually do a B charge and a quick spin, just because you can buffer the B out of the cutscene.
Oh, okay, cool.
See, oh, A little early. There it is. A shadow being. It approaches. Never seen that text box before. If we have any donations, now would be a perfect time.
Yeah, it's
For
pretty fun right now.
sure. Let's see. Well, we did get a $25 donation from Carl early on saying, "Hello, Skuru. Good luck. Have fun and go fast. And P.S. Don't forget Lakebed Gate."
Yo, Coral, thank you so much, dude. I really appreciate that.
Silver Bite Marks donates $10 saying, "Oh yeah, it's time for another Let's Play. Best of luck, Skuru."
Oh my god. Yeah, my speedruns usually turn into Let's Plays, I'm not gonna lie.
And then lastly, we got a $5 donation from Savage Wizrub going, "I got a blue rupee. 5, but it won't fit in my wallet now, so let's give it to charity. Good luck on the run, Skuru, and let's hit that 5."
Thanks so much for the good luck, Savage. I really appreciate that, dude. I really appreciate my community coming out to support the charity and support me here. This is really awesome, guys. Thank you so much.
Could you imagine if, like, the entire chat, everyone donated just $5 and it all said, "I got a blue rupee, 5. I got a blue rupee, 5."
Well, this is the HD version, so we shouldn't see the extra text, but we definitely should see those 5s come in nice and quick.
So for this fight, he's gonna do kind of a specific thing. So Midna leaves after you try to kill the third. Like, so you kill 2 and then they respawn because when one messenger's alive, it like respawns the other. So he's gonna try to kill the 3, and then he's gonna run back to Midna, and then actually kill him for real. And this is just to get the Midna charge attack. This is the first time you get it in the game. So it's used for pretty much killing all the messengers in all the messenger fights.
Midna charge is that big circle around Midna there. You saw me use it to kill him. It's pretty much a one-hit kill if you're in the Midna charge. There are a few select enemies that take a couple more hits once you get to them, but we don't see them for a very long time. All right, we are going to be Wolfie Link Exterminator round 1 here. We got to collect all the Tears of Light, and of course they're little bugs.
This is the first out of 3 Twilights we're gonna clear. And since it's the HD version, like I said, it's actually, it goes by pretty fast, so.
Good stuff. Let's go. We are on our way. So a lot of these bug kills are going to be very specific, like I need to like wait and kill them at the perfect time to get optimal RNG or manipulate their movement in such a way that I can kill them nice and quick. You will see, if you've played this casually, you'll know how big of jerks these bugs can be. They kind of do their own thing. But we're going to try and make it as consistent and predictable as possible here. We didn't get the tech skip. I need to hit the unsense first frame after killing them, and we can skip that little line of text right there. Another thing about the HD version is the tears actually home onto you after you kill the bugs. In SD, you kind of had to like wait and then touch them like on their terms, but they come in on this one. It's nice.
One of those nice quality of life changes.
The quality of life improvements are very appreciated.
Oh yeah, for sure. They're much better. And they also collect immediately as well, which they don't do in the GameCube version. Like, he just runs into them and they immediately collect, but in the GameCube version you have to wait for like the vessel to rise and then you can collect it, so.
Yeah, it's a little bit quicker overall too. Less bugs and quicker and nicer.
It's just nice, yeah.
Don't want to end up in that Great Vape. It is a one-hit kill.
Yeah, if he goes into the fog, it's gonna void him out. Do you game over if you hit the fog as well?
No, you don't game over. You just void out and then end up way, way back.
Oh, really? I thought you just... Okay. That's interesting. I didn't know that.
We didn't get the log cycle. That's okay. See how these Midna jumps, they look crazy, and if you've never played the game, you're probably like, holy cow, how is he doing that? All I'm doing is holding L target and clicking A. It's pretty sweet.
And
yeah, those...
Don't ruin the magic, come on.
I'm sorry, I'm ruining the immersion. I've ruined your immersion. Now I'm a jerk. Yeah, thankfully the Great Vape is avoidable. Thank you, Crowder. That is very accurate.
Carager0 says, thankfully the fog is avoidable.
Yeah.
So how long did that Twilight take? Like literally 4 minutes? Like not even?
Yeah, it's not too bad in HD.
Yeah.
We can usually kind of rip through it pretty quick. 2 more bugs here, and then we're human Link again. Ew.
And this is like, yeah, this is it. That's just the entire Twilight. It goes by really fast. So. And the next thing we're going to be doing is going into Fair Temple.
Good stuff. So I'm going to buffer an input out of this cutscene to backflip out of the Midna text trigger and continue on our way. So I'm going to actually do a couple buffered inputs like this throughout the run to just skip text that is slow.
Isn't that what you do when you like want to escape a conversation? You just backflip out of it?
Funny enough, I can do that. Awesome. So Carl's gonna give us the key to unlock the gate, and we are on our way. We're gonna buy some... Oh, no, we're not. That's just the fastest way to get out of that text conversation.
Oh yeah, he collects buy, and then the guy says, oh wait, you don't have enough money. And that's actually faster than just saying no, which is kind of interesting.
If you're like, no, he's like, well, I gave you the lantern for free, and blah, blah, blah. And you're like, nah, it's slow.
Yeah. So, something that's coming up, I personally never really enjoyed this part, but he's going to be escorting a monkey. It actually doesn't take that long. It's just, like, the movement from the monkey can sometimes be annoying, and she's, like, a little finicky sometimes, but essentially, you need to use the lantern to get through the fog, and she takes the lantern, so that's why we're escorting her. And you have to follow her, and she gets scared from the enemies, so it's just, I don't know, man.
This is a very tedious part of the run. It is not my favorite either, Ian. That is for sure.
Yeah, it's just like one of those small little things that, you know.
A thing to be conscious of while escorting the monkey is we want to collect 10 rupees. We need to have 10 rupees for a flight later on, and if we're broke, we can't do it.
Also, you're gonna see that he's trying to push the monkey while she's like waving the lantern. So when she waves the lantern, she's trying to clear more area to walk. And she's gonna stay still, but Skuruwolf's gonna try and like push her a little bit forward, and it just saves a little bit of time. So you're gonna see that he's doing that right now. So
yeah, if you push her like slightly off her pathing, she's gonna be like, "Oh, now I need to swing my lantern again." And yeah, it's honestly, you're trying to save time, but at the same time, if you do it wrong, you're not saving time.
Yeah, it's just I'm not a huge fan of this part, but once it's over, it's actually it's pretty quick. So.
We're also trying to, of course, like I said, collect 10 rupees here. And I'm getting terrible rupee RNG, which is very unfortunate.
Maybe this will help. We got a $1 donation from Anonymous that says, you got a green rupee. That's worth 1 rupee. You're filthy rich.
Perfect. Everything helps. Okay, we got our 10 rupees. That was our kind of our main Monka-esque moment through this fog here.
So with regards to rupees and drops, is every location RNG dependent, or are there certain spots that are fixed? Always drop?
That is a really good question. So during that fog there, every location except for that one patch that gave me 4 green rupees is random. That patch of 4 green rupees for whatever is fixed. Throughout, if you want to continue explaining, Ian, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, no, it's okay. Yeah, I mean, he's going to need 300 rupees for going into City in the Sky later on in the game. And there are some spots where they're not fixed. I don't know where he's getting his rupees from, but I would assume that he's getting 2 orange rupees in Snow Peak, and those are always going to be there. Unless 1 rupee clips out of bounds, but it won't happen. So there's 2 fixed spots where there are 100 rupees. So he's gonna get 200 rupees in Snow Peak, and those are fixed. So
that's actually a variation between SD and HD. There's only 1 orange rupee in Snow Peak.
Oh really? I know that. Okay.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab a whole bunch of rupees in Arbiter's Grounds, and then snowboarding down to Snow Peak, we're gonna try and grab the 50. And if we do the rupee route right, we can grab the 20 rupee rate above Fire's Cannon and be successful in getting 300.
Oh, nice.
If not, we use the bell tower backup in Kakariko. Yeah, the rupee route's all set out. We shouldn't have an issue assuming Arbiter's RNG doesn't go terribly awry, which it has. But we should be fine. We should be fine. No matter what, we will get the rupees.
I like how you were mashing buttons like, can't skip, can't skip!
Welcome to my life. That's what I'm saying. Like, you can skip most of the cutscenes, but the ones you can't, we still complain about.
This is actually really important. It seems this is necessary in HD to go through, but you actually, so this guy's teaching something called a hidden skill, and it's 1 out of 7. This is the only one he's gonna get, and I think it's called the final strike, final blow.
Ending blow.
Ending blow, right? And you actually like literally need that to kill Ganon. So if you don't have that in your inventory, this skill, you cannot be Ganon at the end of the game. So
Yeah, you just soft
really
lock in the
important.
Ganon fight.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, you just can't beat the game. So that's actually really important.
We're just about in the Forest Temple here. Thank goodness.
Yeah, it gets really good about now.
So, if you've ever played this game, you know going through the Forest Temple that you have to rescue the monkeys, and they swing you to the mini-boss, they swing you to the final boss. We are going to rescue exactly 2 of them. The rest, they'll be fine. Don't worry, they'll be fine. We will see them next time. But yeah, we're only going to save 2 of these monkeys just to get where we need to go. That did not work. Thank you.
Nice. Yeah, so there's 7 monkeys. He's just gonna get 2. He can do sequence breaks to get around the other 5, and Forest Temple actually goes pretty fast. Overall, the movement here is cool. The tricks here are cool. So
we almost have the Gale Boomerang. Thank goodness.
Yeah, once we get that.
So I'm gonna, like, my main goal through here is just to optimize movement and do things like, I'm gonna light this torch and then kill the Skulltula here, just because he is invulnerable until he starts to attack, and the timing works out that I light the torch and then kill him. Just small optimizations like that I have to keep in the back of my mind while I'm doing these sorts of things.
Man, that's one of the things about Twilight Princess that terrify me. And like, at least in Ocarina of Time, they hung from webs or they stuck on walls, but they never actually dropped down. When that spider just completely drops down and starts crawling towards you, the first time I experienced that, I was like, nope, no.
Yeah, this is not a arachnophobic's favorite game, let me tell you that. Oh my goodness. There are some, like, if you're playing casually, you go through the spelunking caverns, there are some pretty scary Skulltula moments where they jump out of the darkness and surprise you a little bit. And if spiders aren't your thing, you're probably not going to like that.
We have a new name added to the list, actually a couple. Wolfmom1 donates $5 and says, TPHD, you mean tiny people having dinner.
Okay, the funny thing about Wolfmom1 is that's my actual IRL mom.
Thank you.
I love it.
Mom.
Thanks, Mom, for the donation. Much appreciated.
I think she's trying to tell you your dinner's ready.
That's awesome. I mean, I'll drive 10 hours to go visit her, and it'll be cold by then. Perfect. Cold dinner. Mom hype. But yeah, thank you, Mom. I appreciate that.
Do we have time for 1 or 2 more?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
We're getting a couple name donations in now. Moonblaze Wolf donates $5 and says TPHD equals Timberwolf Pupper Huge Derp. Twilight Dusk donates $25. Says TPHD. Time permits high dabs.
Thanks, guys. That's awesome. So with these 2 jerks here, normally it'd be like this huge, like, oh, I need to go kill him. But if you just slash your sword twice, you can kill them both nice and easy. And I'm going to optimize movement right here, even though I don't need to, because I'm going to stand here and wait for the monkeys now. Hurry up and wait. Gotta wait. Oh, they're there.
Yeah, it's like almost impossible to lose time here. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I appreciate how synchronized those death animations were. That the the enemies have practiced synchronized dying for the purpose of the stream.
Ideally, you want to kill them on the same frame to reduce lag frames. Like whenever something dies, the game kind of goes, and you see it. If you kill enemies on the same frame, you just reduce the lag frames a little bit, saving like fractions of a second. But they do add up. How's your head length?
I'm surprised you bonked into that. What?
Yeah, I always bonk there. I set my angle and I'm like, oh, that's not the right angle. Bonking
crazy.
anyway.
All right, so yeah, like I said, or like Skuro said earlier, he only needs to get 2 monkeys. So the first kind of sequence break he's gonna do. It is a sequence break.
It is definitely a sequence break right
yeah.
here.
So it's a little tricky, but he's going to clip into the side of a bridge, and normally you can't get to the mini boss from here. But if you do these clips, it's a little tricky. But if you do the clips, you'll be able to get to the mini boss without collecting 4 monkeys. You'll only have to collect 2. So.
Oh, I missed it. Unbelievable.
It's a little tricky. Oh wow, that's.
I honestly have not missed that trick in months. Marathon, I'm telling you.
So
Okay, so I'll just reset the room.
I wanna do something crazy. You guys, can I do something crazy?
Yeah, for sure.
How close-
I'm gonna focus
how
for a
close-
second here, though.
Yeah. How close are we to $5,000? Couch? What is it? $335.15.
That is correct.
All right. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm keeping track of everyone who donates during this run. If we hit $5,000 before the end of this run, I will randomly pick a name from everyone who donated during this run, and you can pick any Legend of Zelda game, and I will buy it and have it shipped to you.
Wow, that's awesome. Thank you, dude.
However, if we hit $7,500, if we can get rated, if we can get enough to get to 7,500, I will buy you the game and the console it belongs to.
Wow, that is fantastic. Thank you.
That is super generous of you. Thank you so much.
So let's shoot for 5K. Let's start there, but I know we can do it. Let's invite your friends, invite your family, invite every wolf mom on the planet.
Something to mention here is that this guy's name is Ook, the monkey that he's attacking. That's just gonna be important to for later. So his name's Ook, like O-O-K, and that's for a trick called Ookless that I'm gonna explain. I don't know how. It's like in a few minutes, right? 4 or 5 minutes.
Yeah, pretty much we're gonna save warp after grabbing the Gale Boomerang here, and we're heading to the boss key, then the boss. So yeah, coming up in like 2 minutes.
Cool. So,
oh, go ahead.
good. No, go ahead. You're good.
Oh, I was just gonna say, we save Ook, we kill the bug on his back. I don't know how slashing his butt kills the bug on his back, but it does. And we steal his boomerang. This is our holy grail item for this run. We use the crap out of it.
Yeah, this is like Wind Waker. This is like TP's
Item
version
sliding.
of Wind Waker. Yeah, Wind Waker. Storage, item sliding, anything like that. Bomb hovering. This is like TP's equivalent. And you're gonna see that in like really soon. So the rest of Forest Temple actually is really cool looking. A lot of cool movements, and the boss, if Skuruwolf does it right, it's actually really hard to do it right. But if he does it right, it's gonna look like super cool.
It will look pretty cool.
Yeah, for
so
sure.
we save warp out there just because it's faster than running back through the temple to get to where we need to go. I'm using the amiibo to quick load files. It saves about 20 seconds over the 3.5-hour run. It's free time saved by using the amiibo. What it does is it ties the amiibo to the save file, and you just put it on the gamepad on the NFC point during the title screen, and it automatically loads the file. So I have it set to file 3, which is Rivali, our current file, and we're good to go. We save warp a couple times throughout the run, just to save time.
So he has everything he needs to get to the boss. The only thing he doesn't have is the boss key. And once he gets the boss key, he's gonna literally like sprint to the boss, and it's gonna be interesting.
That was our first example of an LJA right there. We just used it to get across the little gap and save a little bit of time on movement. But we're gonna do a more impressive one coming up here.
Yeah, LJAs can be insane.
Yay, boss key. Alrighty, we have everything we need. We are off to go kill Diababa.
Good Forest Temple.
Yes, it's not bad. Minus that one bridge clip that didn't go quite right, we are not doing too bad.
Yeah, that's pretty solid.
So far, knock on wood.
I'm just watching this, like, this is, when I think about the amount of time that myself and probably most people who played this game have spent in this dungeon, that's pretty fast.
Yeah, the only dungeon we do more than half of is the Palace of Toilet. Well,
Really?
and
I
Hyrule
know
Castle,
that.
I guess. Hyrule Castle.
Alright, so right here is a long jump attack. This is the first example of a really big sequence break using a long jump attack. Normally you need all the 7 monkeys to get across to the boss door, but he can just jump, so it doesn't really matter.
Good stuff. Let's go.
Nice. Good jumps. Alright, so for this boss, he's going to be doing a strategy called Ookless. And it's kind of complicated. I'm going to try to explain the best I can. So Ook, who's the monkey I was talking about earlier, will actually assist in the second phase of this fight. So how it works is that the first phase of the fight has bomb plants, right? He's going to take the bomb plants from the first phase of the fight, and he's going to juggle them with the Gale Boomerang in order to use them for the second phase of the fight. So some things to note is that when you take a bomb using Gale Boomerang, what will happen is that you can reset. Well, it starts cooking, right? So the bombs are counting down to when they explode. But if you use the Gale Boomerang, it'll actually reset the bomb timer. So it resets it. So he's actually gonna juggle the bombs for the second phase of the fight. And if he does it just right, he can skip Ook and all that stuff. It saves about 50 seconds, and it's a really cool looking strat, so it's pretty hard.
I think I messed it up. Yeah, definitely. Oops. Targeted the wrong head.
Second bomb. That's okay.
That's okay. We have a strat called one bomb as a backup. Now we just gotta wait for Ook, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's not too much slower.
Yeah, so we're gonna lose about 40 seconds over ideal, but still, one bomb's not bad.
Yeah, one bomb's still good. The movement for Ookless is really precise, and it's just an overall hard trick, so...
That failed because I clicked L target one too many times and targeted the side head instead of the main head.
Yep. It's precise.
It is very precise. Luckily, we have Ook as backup here.
Ook comes in to save the day.
Yay! And that's the Force Temple.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
It's not bad, not bad. Not optimal, but not bad. Yeah, so we got, of course, a cutscene we can't skip here. Yay! Complaining about cutscenes again. Jeez, what a jerk.
Well, I could use it to celebrate. Cody7737 donates $10, saying $10 more if Skuru woos for me.
Yo, Cody, thank you so much, dude. And, oh!
I love it.
Boo asks, how does it feel not having to hit the timestamp? It's pretty weird. I still am doing the motion to go hit my spot.
Yeah, you are right.
Yeah, I totally am.
Yeah, everybody does that during marathon runs. I've done it. ZFG actually has a clip of him, like, at GDQ, like, reaching over to hit the split, but he's, like, not in front of anything.
He's like, oh.
Yeah.
It turns into muscle memory. Like, a lot of this run,
yeah.
you have to remember, like, I practice this run so much that it's mostly muscle memory.
It's
I
just
couldn't do it with
nature.
my eyes closed, but, yeah, right there, I literally just went to hit my spacebar.
You don't even think, you just do it, you know?
Yep. Muscle memory is a crazy thing. Whoops. Mashing text wrong. Okay, let's get all the chokes out now before the run actually starts. So we are finally on our way out of the forest here. We're gonna head all the way over to the Elden Province to become a Wolfie Good Boy again. And then we're gonna do the first half of our sequence break to skip the Fire Temple. This is a perfect time for donations or anything, if you have anything like that.
Oh, we've got a couple. I've been holding on to. We've got a $10 donation from Dar3SZ that said, "Good luck, Skuru. Finally, my time to be a degen. Skuru butts in chat."
Oh, yeah.
I really like these emotes, by the way. Like, they're super adorable.
Thanks.
NPC donates with an exclamation point, donates $10, saying, "You would think that during this run, Skuru would have changed their name temporarily to Skuwu."
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. It should have been Skuwu.
And then $5 from Boo Illustration saying, "Everyone remind Skuru to sniff the Poe."
Oh my god, that is such a, that is
Oh my god. Yeah.
So in Arbiter's Grounds, we do a trick called Po 1 skip to skip killing the first Po to get the Po cent. And I've done Po 1 skip and forgot to get the Po cent and just wasted all the time I tried to save.
So bad. That's like the worst when you miss it, man. When you just completely forget.
You just have a brain aneurysm and you're like, oh, well, this is happening now. I will ask you to remind me once we get to Arbiter's Grounds.
Yeah, I'll try to remember. We got the Po cent and Iron Boots for Ganondorf.
Yes, Iron Boots for Ganondorf.
So, something that's really interesting, this part of the run is also a little bit slow. So the reasoning is, since he's skipping all of Goron Mines, essentially how this game works out, at least casually, is that you do one Twilight, one dungeon, one Twilight, one dungeon, one Twilight, one dungeon. He's skipping the second dungeon, so he's going to actually do 2 Twilights in a row. And the sequence break to actually get to... I'll explain more of that later, but he's going to be doing 2 Twilights in a row. Thankfully, this is TPHD, so the Twilights aren't that bad. So.
Yeah, they're not nearly as tedious as SD. That is a mega for sure.
Yeah.
And we're running. We're running. We're running. Good fight. Alright, yeah, we're not looking too bad right here. So normally, like, this is where we actually get the ability to warp in the game. Midden is like, oh, we gotta fix this bridge. Normally you'd grab it in North Faron, but because we're doing a sequence break, we're actually gonna warp to South Faron. She's gonna be like, that's not where you're supposed to go. Like, look harder, Link. Midden is pretty sassy in this game. It's kind of impressive. But yeah, we are gonna head to Lanayru Province now instead of fixing the bridge.
Right, yeah.
And it's gonna be a good time.
So this is what I was talking about earlier. He's going to be doing something called Gate Clip. It's actually quite easy. It is easy to lose time on, but it's much easier than the previous setups we've had for it.
Yeah, if the gate's in a bad mood, we're not going to get through.
Yeah.
Chat, if you could press 1 in the chat to pet the gate so we can get through, I would much appreciate that. We need all of the pacified gate we can.
So he's going to do Gate Clip, and Gate Clip will allow him to access Lanayru Twilight early. And then he's going to go all the way to Zora's domain, and then set the warp point there. That way, when he's done with Elden Twilight, he can just go Wolf and then finish Lanayru Twilight.
Oh yeah, I'm liking all those ones. Thank you guys. If this gate's in a bad mood, it's all bets are off. Hopefully we petted enough.
It's a little tricky.
So what I'm gonna do is finagle this gate. It's technically 2 separate hitboxes, and we can squeeze Link's hitbox right through the middle if I do this properly here. Perfect, let's go.
Nice, very nice. The entire trick relies on timing, positioning, angle, so there's a lot that goes into that.
Somebody oh, why can't I skip this cutscene? This is really weird.
That is weird.
Normally I can skip this cutscene. Okay, this is a classic marathon thing to say, but I have never seen this before.
I've actually
literally.
What?
Normally you can skip this. This is bizarre.
Can't skip! Can't skip!
What the
That's
heck?
insane.
Oh yeah, and the sky's all green because technically we're not supposed to be here yet. I honestly have no idea what's going on right now.
That's so weird.
Bizarre. Kill. Good thing this is now. That was weird. I've never
I wonder
seen
if the community knows about that. Do you think
I
they
don't
know
know.
about that? I've never seen that before.
I'm gonna clip it and send it to him. Be like, hey guys, you seen this before?
I feel like this is gonna become like a new meme image of like showing a video of something you didn't want to have happen, and it's just got "can't skip" constantly going on the bottom.
Can't skip. Can't skip.
Can't skip.
It's like waiting in line at the DMV. Can't skip. Can't skip.
The fire isn't there because he didn't load Lanayru Twilights the right way since he came in from the other side. That's why the fire wasn't there. The entire cutscene isn't loaded properly.
We're definitely not supposed to be here yet.
Yeah. This is a pretty big sequence break. So.
That's so bizarre though. I've never seen that, and
yeah, that is crazy. I've never seen that either.
I know that's a classic marathon thing to say, but like, oh my god. That's bizarre. Yeah, so right now we're just waiting on this Kargarok. We're gonna steal this bird and fly it up the river. Getting some weird camera though.
I wonder what went wrong.
Go
What happened? No, go ahead. My bad.
I was just gonna say, if I position myself on this hill just right, I can backflip and regrab instantly and save the time of him kind of flying around. That was a good regrab. Go ahead, Ian. I apologize.
Oh no, I was just thinking, like, I wonder what went wrong for that to happen. It's so weird.
Honestly, I don't know. I've never seen it before.
Alright, so he's actually in Linear Twilight, which is the third Twilight of the game. You're only supposed to be here after you beat the second dungeon. So he does a little bit of the second Twilight, he goes to the third Twilight, then goes back to the second, goes back to the third. The order's a little weird. It just happens to be optimal this way.
Yeah, I promise it's faster than doing it normally.
Yeah,
okay, we're gonna go for a trick here called Out of Bounds, Kargarok Out of Bounds. It saves about 6 seconds.
You got
if
this.
we can do it. Oh yeah, we good.
Nice, dude. That's so scary, dude.
It's a pretty monk-ass trick, but it saves us 6 seconds. If you take a look in the bottom left of your screen at the minimap, what it does is it lets us straighten out that big bend in the river, and of course the fastest distance between 2 points is a straight line, so that's kind of what we're going for here. That trick can be a little bit monk-ass, though.
Oh,
I'm not gonna lie, I bonked on it literally like 2 days ago.
That's really precise.
But what's a Zelda run without some out of bounds, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, Twilight Princess HD is one of the more straightforward and less glitch-heavy of the Zelda runs. You get runs like Skyward Sword or even Majora's Mask now with its debug menu, where you're literally manipulating memory, blocks in memory to get the desired outcome. Twilight Princess HD is now, of course, the longest 3D Zelda excluding handholds, and one of the most straightforward.
Yeah, Wind Waker has like actor unloading, you can like unload things from the game. Skyward Sword has like flag manipulation. MM has some other manipulation, but like this is very basic and straightforward, but it's still a really cool run. And considering how long of a game TP is, it's actually the fact that it's still 3 hours and a half, like 3.5 hours, it's still really impressive.
Back when I started running Twilight Princess, both Wind Waker SD and Skyward Sword were both longer any percents, and then both had major skips found this year. So now I unfortunately run the longest 3D Zelda. Yeah, there's a bit of a time difference between the SD and the HD versions. SD is about half an hour faster because they have a few different tricks that have been patched out on the HD release that just lets them kind of blaze through the first hour.
Yeah, for sure.
Alrighty, we made her up the waterfall. We are here for this warp portal, and then we'll go fix that bridge that we kind of put on hold. Something
interesting is that in the SD version, you can skip Diababa, which is the first dungeon, or the first boss in the first dungeon, which is Forbidden or Forest Temple. So you could totally skip him in HD. The only issue is that you need to kill Diababa in order to set a flag to be able to warp the bridge to Kakariko. That is the only reason you need to kill Diababa. And if those two things weren't connected and you were able to just send the bridge to Kakariko, I'm pretty sure we could just leave right after getting Boomerang and go to the Twilights.
Yeah, you can exit the forest and get over the Midna text that's like, hey, you can't leave the forest with a nice, precise LJA. But yeah, like Ian said, we actually have to set the flags in memory, so we can't. Whoops.
Yeah, it's such a weird change. It kind of sucks because, I mean, at least the Diababa fight is really cool, so.
Yeah, Uklis is a really cool trick when you do get it. Unfortunately, we didn't see it today, but it is a really cool trick.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah, I see it. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Just wanted to read some donations since we've got quite a few coming in. Neil Sheep donated $1.15. There was no comment, but thank you for rounding that number out. My OCD feels way better now. SK Ferret donates $25 and says, let's get to 5K, :3. I totally agree. We are $175 off with 3 hours to go. We can absolutely pull that off.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, guys.
And true to his word, Cody7737 donates another $10 going,
oh, dude, your howl's way better than mine. Now I'm jealous. Oh.
Yeah, I as a wolf, I feel a little bit outclassed right now.
That was a pretty good howl. I'm not gonna lie. So here we are to do the Elden Twilight. That should have killed that messenger. I'm not sure why I didn't.
Messenger?
The messenger.
Nice, good. Good fight.
Good fight. All right, so we are almost at the Wolfie Link Exterminator round 2. This one is, again, nice quality of life improvements over SD, but still kind of tedious.
A little bit tedious, yeah. Not too bad, though.
Bug movement RNG kills a lot of time in a lot of runs.
Yeah, it can.
Some of them are predictable, some of them are very unpredictable. We're actually on not too bad a pace right now either. So that was kind of our first introduction to when you're in the Twilight Realm, all of the people turn into floating spirits, as we just saw. We don't interact with many of them because, of course, it's slow. But that is what happens to them. They turn into floating spirits. They have collision. They can block your path. It's yeah, kind of RNG. A yeet into the hole. Good stuff.
That's what you saw Skuro do in Faerun when he talked. Well, when he watched what that guy did in the bed. If you saw it, he had to talk to that one NPC who was a spirit in order to get 2 bugs to show up. So.
Normally you go through the back hallway there up into the graveyard, but because this is HD, there are no bugs in the graveyard, and we can just warp right out. Save a little bit of time. Come on, Link, move those little wolfy legs, buddy. Let's go.
Uh-oh, I think I've started a new war. We have a $25 donation from Blizz that goes, "No woo!" But right above it is a $25.01 donation from Anonymous that says, "Yes a woo!"
I mean, it is, you know, a 1 cent difference. I mean.
Yeah, there is a clear winner here. Oh, that bug.
Does this mean that we're having a bid war over whether or not we a woo at the end?
I believe so, and I think if no woo wins, then everyone who wooed has to pay a fine. But if yes a woo wins, then everyone is absolved.
But still has to a woo.
Yes, yes. That we agree in a woonison.
Oh. Puns are not my strong suit, I'm not gonna lie. You know who does love puns though? My sister. Who's in chat?
This is like the second slowest Twilight, isn't it? Like...
yeah, Linear Twilight is definitely the
Oh
slowest.
god, it's so slow. Okay, yeah. Cool.
Yeah, we just kind of go
with
through,
that.
collect the tiers as you would casually. There's not much beyond movement optimizations, and we do have one little kind of exploit we use up Death Mountain, and I can talk a little bit about that when we get there. But for right now, it's just kind of kill the tiers, get back to normal.
Now, the GameCube original has the trick where you can get the Master Sword early, and that allows you to become human in Twilights, and it actually saves a little bit of time in the Twilights, but since you have to collect so many more tiers, I don't even think it's faster. So
That's a very valid point.
yeah.
Oh no, Blizz donates another $25 with italicized no a woo. Noah Wu is now in the lead with $50 total.
Ooh, I don't know. I think the appeal of the Awu is a good thing. So there's actually a very precise trick you can do here called Bomb House Skip, which actually skips that animation that we just watched. It's a lot easier to do on the GameCube controller with the notches in the control stick. On Wii U, you have no judge as to where perfect straight is because you need like a perfect straight on the control stick to do it. Otherwise, you fall down and lose 40 seconds. We don't do it in the HD run because you're a maniac if you do.
Need to interrupt. We just hit $5,000.
Oh, heck yeah.
Woohoo!
Thank
Thanks
you, everyone.
everyone
That is
so
amazing.
much!
Because of a $125.02 donation from Tweak saying, "I'm paying all y'all's fines for a wooing, and that's just my 2 cents, Kappa HD." So now, a woo yes is way in the lead with $150.03 to Nose 50.
Get hyped. That is awesome.
And as I promised, now that we've hit 5K, everyone who donates during this run will be entered in for a chance to win any one Zelda game of their choice out of my pocket. But if we hit 7,500, I'll throw in the console it belongs to as well. So get those donations in. I'm a man of my word.
That is hype, dude. Thank you so much. Let's kill some messengers. So you'll notice that as we progress through the game, these fights, like, we started out with 1, and then there was 3, and now there's 5. They get harder and harder, too. I mean, they're still pretty easy, but they try to get harder and harder. Yeah, we're just going through the motions of the Elden Twilight here.
I missed a couple donations from earlier. Can I read those out for you?
Yeah, absolutely. We are going through the motions.
All right. We got a $50 donation earlier from Hexum that said, one of my all-time favorite Zelda games. Good luck on the run. We also got a $25 donation from TK saying we're so close. Well, we were so close to 5K. Let's make it happen. Also, The Legend of Zelda, Terrific Pets, Happy Dog.
That's a good one. I like that one. That's good stuff.
Had to go for it.
And lastly, Bullet Jill donates $33 saying, so much love for this community and all the runners and volunteers for making this event happen. I'm so happy I could be a part of this. Let's push this donation total higher until we hit our goal.
I think you sounded a little sick in that one. The first awoo was better.
It says moo! It's a cow!
Oh, that was a cow. I thought that was an awoo. I was like, dude, I don't know.
Hey, are you saying cows are not allowed to awoo?
I am not saying that. I'm just saying that awoo did not sound healthy.
Well, how about this? Leica just donated $10 and managed to break the donation tracker in the process. Because they went, did someone say a woo? Can we a woo with all the volunteers at the end of the run? And then text that literally runs off the page, even when I maximize it, going, oh woo! So on and so forth.
Wow.
Those are some good lungs.
Absolutely fantastic.
Those are some good licenses.
So what we just did there was we backflip quick spin into the little cutscene here, and we could actually skip getting hit by that Goron. We actually have to go up talk to the Goron, so Renato comes here and tells us to go to Arna to get the boots. We're not going to get the boots right now. We're going to do that later. We're actually coming up to our sequence break that lets us skip Fire Temple. Got to tame opponent first.
So I guess the important thing to mention here is that you don't want to talk about grabbing opponent, do you?
No, go ahead.
Okay. So like I said, he did get into Lanayru early, and he did do some stuff in Lanayru. That wasn't the actual sequence break. Like, yeah, he got there and he activated the warp portal, but the sequence break, you can't really do anything with just that. It just happens to be faster to set the portal that way. That's the only reason, is because he just wanted to set the warp portal as fast as possible. The actual sequence break is going to come up after he gets opponent, which is going to be a milk dive. So
Milk dive is the Monka S moment. There are so many. It is.
Oh, you want
no
safety save?
There's no frame perfect tricks, but Milk dive is a Monka S moment. There are lots of things that can go wrong. What's up?
Do you want a safety save?
Yeah, oh yeah, I will. As soon as I get into Hyrule Field here.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to safety save, because if things go as wrong as they can go, we will lose way too much time. So I'm going to just take a quick safety save in Hyrule Field here. So if things do go very wrong, which they probably won't, we are not killing the run. Yeah, so normally in runs, like, there's no way I'd safety save here. It's just too slow. We're going to do it anyway.
I was hoping you were going to do the sideways dash with your horse through the gate.
Oh my gosh. Fun fact, they used to actually, instead of you clipping through that gate with Wolf, you'd position opponent just right, and then you get off opponent in such a way that you clip through the gate. It was way more difficult, way more precise.
Yeah. It was such a hard trick.
The Wolf version is much easier.
I just like to point out the fact that because of the naming we got for this game, every time you speed your horse up, Revali is whipping Link.
That is a Kappa Pride.
So he's coming up to the point where he's gonna do milk dive. Do you want to explain this, or?
Yeah, I can explain this. So what I'm going to do here is take advantage of a little break in the collision off this cliff. I'm going to walk opponent off the edge and drink my milk as soon as her feet leave the ground. This pushes us through the kill plane and actually lets us walk out of bounds. So I'm going to dash around this big corner here, and then you see that big jagged pointy? I'm going to line up with that, and there's a loading zone that extends infinitely above and below the map. Our goal is to end up in that loading zone and to skip a rock wall that we can't bomb because we didn't beat Fire Temple and don't have bombs. So if I've done this right, we should hit the loading zone anytime here. There it is. Perfect. We got Milk Dive. Good stuff.
So that skips getting bombs and getting bow, actually, which there's a lot of stuff that you have to do to skip bow. I'm going to explain that later, or Skuro will. But yeah, he just hits the air trigger and enters Linear Twilight. That is the actual sequence break, and the reason why that is important is because that turns you into a wolf. Even if you set the portal, if you didn't have the Milk Dive, you would have no way to warp to the main and clear the actual Twilight, so...
Yeah, so we are about to do Linear Twilight, as Ian says. We're gonna thaw out Zora's Domain with this big rocky boy, and then continue on like normal. Kind of. Clear Linear Twilight like normal, I should say. This Goron punches you if you're not careful. Who punches a wolf? Come on, buddy. Alright, so we have officially skipped Fire Temple.
Wow, we're an hour into the run already? Yeah. Last time I checked, it was like 20 minutes. You guys are doing really good with like teaching us so much about this.
This, honestly, like, you don't think there's a lot, but then you kind of break it down and it's like, wow, there's actually a lot going on.
If you had to pick one element that you'd say was your favorite, whether it's the visuals, the music, the story, like what really speaks the most to you about this game?
Oh my gosh, that is a loaded question. All of it? Like the story, the music, super iconic to my childhood. The visuals, I mean, updated in the HD version, they do look pretty spick and span, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, this game was just 12-year-old me's dream, and it's been my favorite game ever since. And that's kind of why I actually started speedrunning it. Not to segue away from what you guys are saying here, but I started speedrunning this game because playing it casually got too boring. I was like, I want to play Twilight Princess, but then I was like, I don't want to play Twilight Princess at all. Speedrunning kind of breathes new life into your old favorite games. So if you find yourself playing your favorite game and you're like, man, I don't want to do this part, or like blah, 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 check out some speedrunning tricks. See if you can sequence break around it. Like, breathe new life into your favorite games, because it can be done. Sorry about that. Continue on. Continue on.
God, that was great. That was a great segue.
Alright, so this is the third and final Twilight, by far the longest. A little bit interesting, the routing, but...
We do some 200 IQ routing, that's for sure.
Yeah, the routing's really interesting. I like it a lot. Because especially casually, I would never think to do it like this. It's very smart. But yeah, other than the routes that we take to get all the bugs and clear the Twilight, nothing else is really different, I don't think. I mean, it's just normal gameplay with a few optimizations, so...
Pretty much. What would I say my favorite part of this run? I really like the Water Temple. The Water Temple is quite difficult, but it's one of those ones where you sit down and grind it out, practice it. It's not too bad. I really enjoy kind of when it goes well.
Like, that is sick.
Yeah, I guess my favorite part of the run is when things go well, if that makes sense. My least favorite part of the run, however, is Palace of Toilet. It is not my favorite dungeon whatsoever.
This is a true story. When I first played Ocarina of Time, I had a Prima's official strategy guide. It was a used copy, and I didn't know that until I got to the Water Temple, because I didn't learn until later, but 2 full pages of the guide relating to the Water Temple had been ripped out. So, I didn't know, but it went from page 61 to 65, and I got stuck in the Water Temple, and I didn't know why, because I was following the instructions. So I had to do 2 pages of Water Temple content, 8 years old, without understanding what I was supposed to do.
Dude, the Water Temple in Ocarina of Time, like, it is difficult. I don't know how 6-year-old me beat that game, honestly. Like, I look back and I'm like, I probably couldn't do it now.
It's very, like, the thing about Water Temple and OOT is that, like there's that one room where, like, when you raise the water level, you have to go under that one platform. Like, you would never know that, you know what I mean? Like,
there's so many nuances to the Water Temple that, like, oh, you're gonna spend hours in there trying to figure it out, and then when you do, you're like, oh, I'm a dummy.
Yeah.
Dummy.
That's what it is.
Yeah, a lot of it is backtracking too. As you guys saw in the Metroid Prime run, well, actually you might not have seen it because it's played very, very quickly and very well. Casually in Metroid Prime, there's a lot of backtracking, like going to areas you've already visited. Now that, like, oh, I have this item, I can go back here and open this door now. There's a lot of that in Water Temple, and I think that's what threw a lot of people off too. Because Zelda dungeons are normally pretty linear. Like, you get key A, you open door A. Not, you get key A, you open door A, you get key B through door A, and then you go back through door A and open door B.
Yeah, that's kind of how Water Temple was.
Yeah, so we're just... Oh, go ahead, Ian.
No, go. You're good. You're good.
Oh, I was just going to say, we're just collecting bugs like we normally would. Right here, I do my rupee check. We have 11 rupees. I need 10 to get a cannon flight right after this, so I always double check my rupees right there, because there are a couple extra in those boxes. Go ahead, Ian.
Oh no, I was just thinking how crazy it is that you're already halfway done with it. Like when you watch SD speedruns, it takes so long to get past the Twilights.
We're actually about a third of the way done.
Oh really?
You mean Twilight sections?
Yeah, well, I just meant like the actual Twilight section. You know what I mean?
Yes, we are almost done with Twilight sections. We're about a third of the way through the run.
Yeah.
If we have any donation, now is a perfect time. We gotta run through some fields here.
We have one new donation. It's $10 from Karis. There was no message, but thank you very much for the donation. And for those of you who have either just tuned in or been watching the entire time, if you're enjoyed or are enjoying the marathon and you want to see more awesome furries playing video games for Extra Life, there is another event coming up. There's the Extra Life fundraising weekend happening November 2nd and 3rd this year. You can follow @FursForLife on Twitter for any updates and additional info.
Yeah, unfortunately, with how routing works here, it is fastest to run through these fields, but we do it a couple times. Like, we run through this field specifically right now through Midna's Desperate Hour, and once with Opponent too, kind of. It is just a lot of running, dead time. Normally when I'm streaming, I'll be like, oh, and we're running. But honestly, the donations and commentary is a perfect way to fill those gaps. So what happened right there was I targeted those messengers in the wrong order, and we bonked. I just did it again. Come on, please work. That'll work. Yeah, so when you midna charge, it will, the last one targeted will be the first one hit, and that's why we saw me bonk into the fence there. Nice and slow.
Yeah, the way midna charge works in this game and like what enemy targets first isn't really something you'd expect. It's like kind of reverse and it can be confusing sometimes.
We're going to do a movement tech through the castle town here called dash canceling. Because the base speed of your dash gets set lower in the town, it's actually faster to dash and then immediately cancel it with a B attack. And we just do that over and over, so it kind of looks like Link is jumping around a little bit. Ah, good movement. Let's go. Good stuff. We can't actually attack this bug until it drops.
Yeah, pretty good.
There it is. Oh! If you take too long killing that bug, he actually flies away. Or flies around. It's very annoying. Very annoying.
So, the routing for this that we were talking about that's like really kind of smart, is that, at least when I was a casual, I would always like... I would go up the tunnel first, but if you go up the tunnel, if you get this bug, play the song that's next to the bug that you just killed, go up the river, kill the bugs, and then void out, you actually end up on the other side of Lake Hylia, and you skip having to swim to that one bug that's like all the way at the end of the lake. So it's pretty small, but it's the routing's really good. So
it is very 200 IQ routing.
Yeah, it's pretty smart.
Clearly not routed by me. Yeah, so we go up the river here, we grab the 3 bugs. Normally you'd head to the top and kind of like get all the Zora's Domain bugs and everything, but because we actually grabbed that warp portal early, we can kind of grab our bugs out of the river here and then bonk and get out of the sequence. Nice and fast. Killing some bugs. Like I said, Wolfie Link Exterminator. I'd hire him. He does a great job.
Dude, I wish I had this kind of dog in real life and kill all my bugs for me.
Yeah, exactly.
Indoor bugs.
Wolf Link Exterminator. All bark and bite.
Exactly. I'd hire him. I mean, that sounds like a great business slogan anyway. Alright, it's time for the big, gross boss bug. We're gonna crunch him.
It's time for the big
Blood
guy.
Crunch. Yeah, he is, there is some small, like, kind of fight optimizations you can do to speed him up, but things can go wrong quite well.
Yeah, this is actually kind of a tricky boss fight to get right.
Hopefully we can get it.
This is the last one. Once he's done with once he's done with this fight, all the Twilights have been cleared. So the game really picks up after this point.
So I'm going to sit here and stare at this wall to reduce lag frames on the bug particle effects. And if we do this properly, we can manipulate him into coming at us straight on here. We do a backflip and then, oh, we missed the boop. If you time that right, you can actually boop him, so you can skip this little strafing attack here. It's pretty precise timing though, and it can be a little bit tricky to get. And
Yeah,
even if you
totally.
do get it, you go for the latch on attack, and then it doesn't work anyway. It's a very finicky fight.
Yeah, if you I think if you jump attack too early, you just let go, right? It's like
Yeah,
so
you just
weird.
bounce off.
Yeah.
There we go. Oh, see, I just bounced off a little bit early.
Yep, that's so weird.
It's so frustrating too, especially when you're at a good pace and you're like, oh, well,
Yeah.
there's 15 seconds of time lost. Like, awesome. And if I bonk on this leg here, we can skip the animation of Link jumping back and forth. Oh, I'm gesturing with my hand to the webcam. There's no webcam. You skip the animation of Link jumping back and forth, and it just saves a couple seconds. A bow counter for tie, Bryn. We have probably 8 or 9 minutes until we're at bow.
Oh, okay.
So just a bit of preface. When you get the iron boots, you have to do a sumo wrestling sequence with Bo, one of the characters in the game. It's essentially rock, paper, scissors, and you're kind of guessing and hoping for the best. RNG can get you there, and you can easily lose a minute if you get bad RNG.
Yeah,
My sister's boyfriend hangs out in my stream. I usually stream DGen hours, midnight till 6 a.m., and he's a chef, so he gets off work at like 2 a.m. And we found that if he talks sweet nothings to Bo in chat, I get good RNG. So he will literally like be driving home from work at 2:30 in the morning, and Bryn will text him and be like, "Oh, it's Bo time," and he's like, "Aw, yeah, I'm pulling over," and then he'll write out a paragraph to get us good Bo RNG. It sounds ridiculous, but it works, and I love it because it works, and I get good RNG out of it.
So yeah, Bo's complete luck. It's just luck, really. You just have to guess and hope you're right. Something else to mention is that casually you're supposed to get iron boots like way before clearing all of the Twilight spots. It's actually faster to clear the Twilights first and then get iron boots due to how the routing works. You're gonna get Zora armor now, right?
Yeah, I'm on my way to Castletown to start the escort mission to get Zora armor. Because we didn't beat Fire Temple, we actually don't have the bow. And there's going to be a jousting fight on the Bridge of Lineryu that requires the bow. The speed, if you want to explain it, Ian, actually, what the speed stuff.
So you skip Goron Mines, right? You skip the bow, and that causes a lot of issues. Because that one jousting fight with King Bulbin 2, you need either the bow or the bombs to fight him, right? And to get past that point in the escort. And you need to do this escort. There's no way around it. You have to do it. And so when people started skipping the bow, the only viable option was to get the bomb. And getting bombs for the fight was really stupid. You had to do like a pixel perfect clip with Epona, and then you had to go down and steal the bomb bag and do some precise boomerang throws, and then you had to get the King Bulbin and then time bomb throws and throw it right as the bomb was exploding. And that's what we called the gauntlet. It was actually 3 really hard tricks that you had to do to get past this point of the run. Thankfully, somebody called Mr. Men discovered something called Epona Clip, and essentially, it turns out that if you fall out of bounds before the jousting fight, you will respawn after the fight, as if you just finished the fight. So people have been looking for a way to void out of bounds before the King Bulbin 2 fight forever. People tried like all these different theories. Finally, Mr. Men found out that if you just position Epona in like kind of a specific way and you fall out of bounds, you skip the fight, you skip having to get bombs, which skips 3 really hard tricks, and it also saves 7 minutes. So it's a huge fun. And yeah, you're gonna see Skuro doing that. So he can get Zora armor without bombs or bow, and there are no super hard tricks that are gonna kill the run. So
The only unfortunate part about Epona Clip is it is a tricky trick, and the positioning is pretty precise. Hopefully we can
Yes.
get it nice and quick, but it might take a couple positioning resets.
yeah, it's
Can I-
definitely precise.
Can I just say how impressed I am watching you weave in and out between those townspeople with your rolling speed?
It is, yeah. So there's movement tech there. It's like first screen you can roll through it, don't read the sign. Second one, it's 1, 2, 3, wait, 1, 2, and then you roll down the stairs.
That's really, yeah. It's easy to talk to the NPCs there. So here's the Epona Clip. What he's gonna do is he's gonna use 3 dots. I think that's his visual cue, at least that's what I used to use. He's
No.
gonna use. Oh no, really? Okay. Well, he's gonna.
I just kind of wing it, honestly.
Oh, okay. So he's just gonna wing it. Kind of position Epona in a good spot, and I think she's a little close. Maybe not. I don't know.
We'll give her another go here. There we go. Good
Oh,
stuff.
nice. All right, you got it. So yeah, he just uses Epona's body to clip out of bounds, and that voids him out, and he spawns on the other side of the bridge.
Yeah.
Yep. And that skips the King Bulbin 2 fight and saves 7 minutes and makes the route a lot easier. So
Yeah. So what I go off there is, like, if you're walking along parallel with the ledge with Epona, you want to nose boop on the wall just a little bit. Like, I literally, in my head, it's like 2 nose boops, and then you're kind of in the right position. You can also walk straight forward and let Epona stop, and then kind of readjust your angle and walk forward 1 step. Like, it's so nuanced and precise. I remember when I was learning it took me about 40 minutes to get it the first time. So it's just a lot of practice and grinding, and anyone can do that trick. It's tricky to get, but it's not difficult.
yeah,
Whoops.
for sure.
Get off the horse.
So he's just escorting the woman through. Wait, no, the one woman and the Zora kid.
The Zora child, yeah.
Yeah, the Zora child. I don't know the story of this game.
Yeah, so what we're doing here is 6 Zora child was in Castletown at Telma's bar. We're like, oh, we need to take him to the doctor in Kakariko. And Telma's like, oh, well, it's dangerous. We have to do this. So we're escorting the Zora child to Kakariko to get saved. We're going to do some fun stuff here. If I can get this bird with the bomb, please. Thank you. So we got the bird with the bomb that kind of interrupts the pathing of the carriage, and then you circle the field, and it takes forever. We're going to ditch the carriage now because they'll be fine. Trust me, they'll be fine.
You're doing. Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say we're gonna head over to the load zone for Kakariko. There's actually a Midna text trigger on the ground where she's like, "Hey, like you should probably wait for the cart." But yeah, we're just gonna LJ right over that.
Another use of an LJ being pretty useful.
Saving time.
This
So
part can be a
out of
little
bounds.
monk-esque.
Perfect.
Nice. Well done.
That was good stuff. That was not a bad segment at all.
Oh yeah, that was definitely a good escort for sure. So he actually went the wrong way, but that was actually intentional. So if you notice that he went off to the left, the graveyard is off to the right. So why he did that is that it's a very small optimization. But when you roll off to the left, the queen talks to you, and it actually puts you a little bit farther than if you were just to go the right way in the first place. Really like small optimization, but that was actually intentional. That was not a mistake. And yeah, he's gonna...
I actually just had no idea which way I was going. No, I'm kidding. And same thing in the tunnel here. I'm gonna crawl up to the second mark on the wall, and it's the same thing. She's like, this way. It's like, oh, I had no idea it was this way. My bad. I thought I had to go back.
So Zora armor, he has that now, and he needs one more thing for lake bed, which is the iron boots. So this is where he's gonna go wrestle sweaty men for the iron boots.
Back to Ordon. Oh, there I go, hitting the spacebar again. Alrighty, it is time to go slap Bo around and steal his boots.
Hopefully it's not terrible RNG.
Yeah, that is the hope. I know Ty is in chat, so he's gonna take Bo on a picnic, keep it nice G-rated for the charity stream, and yeah, let's get some good RNG.
Ty the MVP.
Yeah, if there's any donations or anything, now is a great time because I'm just gonna be running for the next minute here.
We do have one new donation. We have a $25 donation from Shockwave, without the A. It says, 5K, what about 6K? Hmm?
That's a really good question. What about 6K? Hmm?
Hmm?
So I'll just throw in that adding on to Sonic's very generous offer of the $5,000 incentive of a Zelda game and a $7,500 donation incentive of including a console with that. At both $6,000 and $7,000, I will add any game of your choice from the run, assuming it is actually available to purchase.
Oh,
That's super generous.
That's cool.
Yeah, TK, does chat have any questions about the run thus far that maybe we can answer while I'm running around here?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh,
I'm checking through as well.
I'll keep an eye and I will certainly let you know. Let us know, chat, if there's anything you'd like to know about the game, techniques, favorite times, least favorite times.
I guess I should ask Vol as well. I guess you've never seen the speedrun. What do you think? Do you have any questions or anything like that?
You know what? My brain shut down as soon as I saw you side hop through a gate as a dog. So I'm already kind of processing that. This is also interesting for me because I did play Twilight Princess when it came out, and so like I recognize bits of this game, and then there's other parts where it's like I don't remember doing that. But then you go to something like that would happen 3 hours later in the game, and I'm like, no, I definitely did do that. I remember this part. So this whole game is an enigma to me. So it's nice getting to experience it as one cohesive experience. You know, besides the fact that you're breaking it wide open in the process.
Yeah, I mean, we do skip the Fire Temple. Unfortunately, we're not going to see and have good memories of Link dying in lava and things like that. And we skip actually one of my favorite casual temples. Temple of Time in this game is my favorite Zelda dungeon of all time. Like, you get to control a giant statue and break the temple. Like, you literally smash the temple with a giant statue. And it's unfortunate that we skip it, but it is fast.
So I do have a question from Wolf Tweak. Skuru, how do you break the mailman trigger?
There are actually mailman trigger breaks you can do by LJAing right over the trigger. There's the first one in the South Fair on Field, where we're going to be Wolfie Good Boy round 2 before we do the gate clip, where you can actually jump over the mailman trigger and save a little bit of time. But the mailman comes back with a vengeance right before we do Milk Dive. So it's actually, I think you save 6 seconds or something like that if you LJ over the trigger, but then it comes back anyway and you have to do it again, and it's just tedious the second time, so we just eat that first mailman. We do skip him right near the end of the run, nicely with an LJ on the bridge, heading to Hyrule Castle. That's the only one that we can skip with no remorse.
Oh no.
This is Bo.
Oh no. Okay,
come on, Bo.
so
Give me some good RNG. Oh yes, that is the second best. Let's go.
Let's go, big boy.
There's
would
Ty
it
in
help
chat.
the Would it help the RNG if I dramatically read Tyzum's paragraph?
Yes, absolutely. We have second fight here. Let's go.
Tyzum comes back to Bo after giving him some time to himself. I notice he seems to be in a better headspace. I prompted to him to get out of the room and go to the garden for some one-on-one time. As soon as we arrive there, I grab him. I pull Bo in nice and close and give him a solid hug, followed by a high five. You have been so good to us, Bo. We all love you so much and appreciate what you do for us, I say to him. Bo's eyes go teary, and he starts to break down.
It worked.
That was perfect. We actually had the third best RNG we could get or hope for. So that was great. I really appreciate that, Ty. You are an integral part of my stream, and thank you for coming out today, dude.
Addendum. I give Bo another high five, but more solid.
That's perfect. Alrighty, we have everything we need. We are off to the water temple.
Yeah.
Moonblaze says that he will also chip in a copy of 1980X if we hit 6K.
All right, I'm marking all this down, so I'm gonna type this up one more time for me. Tell me what each of the incentives are.
Moonblaze is chipping in a copy of 1980X. I hope that's how it's pronounced. If we hit 6K, I will be chipping in any game of the winner's choice among the games that we have played that I can actually purchase. And the same goes for 7K.
Okay.
I definitely believe we can get there. This chat has already surprised me a lot with their generosity. Continue surprising me. I like to be surprised. Let's get hype. Yeah, so we're coming up to Water Temple here, and Water Temple has one of the toughest tricks in the run in it, the Lake Bed Bosky skip. Hopefully we can get it nice and easy. I will explain. I'm actually going to explain it really fast while doing it, how to do it. So that'll be pretty interesting if you've never seen or heard what I actually have to do for that trick. But we're going to be running across some fields here. If there's more donations, if you guys have any questions, now is the perfect time.
Let's see. Well, while we're waiting for more donations to come in, I mentioned earlier about the upcoming event for the Extra Life fundraising weekend on November 2nd and 3rd. But hey, what if you want to take part? Well, do you enjoy playing video games on Twitch? Do you like helping out sick kids? You ever felt a little bit, fuzzy? Well, if you said yes to any of these things, you might be the perfect fit for the Extra Life team. If you're interested in joining, you can click on the Join the Team button in the graphic below the stream window, or chat, you can type !join in the chat. So all those comments earlier about if you want to, get into speedrunning or help speedrunners, this is a perfect opportunity. They're always looking for people to help out.
So I think that my personal favorite is probably Lake Bed, which is what we're about to go into. It's not necessarily the hardest dungeon, but there are a lot of hard parts to it, and it's also very cool looking. There's a lot of LJAs, a lot of cool movement. The boss key skip Skuro mentioned earlier. Something to mention is that, like I said, it's not super hard, but there are some very hard parts. The mini boss fight that he's going to be doing, I'm assuming he's going to be going for a 2-cycle, which is pretty difficult, as well as the boss key skip.
We'll explain a little bit more about the 2-cycle Toad when we get there.
Yeah, for sure.
Water Temple is an LJA playground. It's very, very visually cool to look at. There's some scary looking LJAs, some cool looking ones. We do about a third of the temple. We do it backwards, we do it sequence break, and we actually don't really complete any puzzles in the temple itself. Actually, at all, we don't complete any puzzles.
Yeah.
But a fun thing to mention here, because we didn't beat Fire Temple and don't have bombs, I actually am normally not able to break the rock blocking the Water Temple here. So I got to do a trick called Pillar Clip. Hopefully it goes well. It can be a bit tedious and tricky at times.
This trick is
do
awesome.
A nice big setup here. Please work. And it worked.
Good, I think. Yeah.
Good stuff. Into the load zone. A little bit more out of bounds.
So that's to avoid getting bombs. Like I said, skipping bombs and bow, there's a lot of stuff you have to do to get around not having those items at this point in the game, because you're definitely supposed to. But he's gonna be just fine. So he does a lot of interesting things to get around that.
Actually, right after the Water Temple, we will be getting bombs in a very non-traditional way. We're going to borrow them without asking from an NPC. So yes, we're going to be stealing a bomb bag.
Link is a thief.
So, Legend of Zelda thief protagonist?
Yes.
You gotta do what you gotta do to save the world,
So yeah, right here, normally you'd have bombs and the bow to blow up the stalactites, but we can just get around needing that with a couple well-timed LJAs. Oh, let's go, Link. Weird camera. So the first trick in the main staircase room here is the staircase LJA. It looks very Monka-esque, but if we line up right, it should be just fine. I have failed it very recently, though, so hopefully we can get it.
It looks a lot harder than it is, but it's still a little precise.
There we go. Good stuff.
Nice.
As Ian said, it looks a lot harder than it is. Good stuff. So again, normally you'd go upstairs, turn the water spout on, and get this wheel turning, but with the power of LJAs, we can just skip the entire puzzle. And we're going to actually take the back way into the mini-boss room here as well. Again, with an LJA.
How do you do that again? Wait, no, never mind. I'm thinking of TPSD. I'm getting them confused. My bad.
No, it's all good. Yeah, so in the SD version, you have a trick called Back in Time and Early Master Sword, which lets you set boss flags. So you just walk in the door right there, look up, and the boss flags are set in memory, so you can kind of initiate the fight. In HD, we can't do that, so we kind of have to make our own way in with an LJA. And this is gonna look so stupid, and it's something you'd hear about on a childhood playground, but we're gonna use this pot to push us through a little crevasse and avoid blowing up a rock here. Again, because we don't have bombs. Gotta get creative, right? Everything at your disposal.
Yep. It's really interesting to see the way that runners will get around using bombs, and this is one of them. And it's crazy, and it works, actually, so.
So it just so happens that that pot's hitbox pushes me into the crevasse, and we can swim right through, squeeze right by the rock, and enter the mini-boss room here.
Wow, that was nuts.
And this is the Toad mini-boss. There is a way, like, normally you're going to do at least 3 cycles in a casual playthrough. There is a way to time your sword slashes that in such a way that you get 10 hits per cycle. 20 hits to kill the boss with the Ordon sword, which is what we have. Ideally, we want to 2-cycle it because it's faster. The thing is, you only have 4 frames between each sword slash to slash your sword again. Too fast, you finish the combo and don't get more than 4 hits. Too slow, you just don't get all 10 hits in. So it's kind of precise. Hopefully I can get it and show it off here.
And something I'm not gonna do it right now. I'll let him focus.
That's the full 10. Good stuff. We got to do that one more time.
Nice. Okay, so something that's really interesting, and it's not something you really realize unless you run the game. But in order to do 2 slashes, it's really weird. The rhythm you want to press the B button for it. You want to go 1, 2, 3, just to do 2 slashes. So it's like a really weird rhythm, and it's just because it's so weird, it makes it really hard to do. This is quite a hard boss fight to do optimally. So good so far, though.
Yeah. Hopefully we can get the second. Good stuff. That was a good 2 cycle.
Nice.
Let's go.
Very good. That was actually really hard to do. So good job.
Good stuff. And we got the claw shot now, which is also good. So I buffered the jump slash there, which of course puts us right perfect in front of the chest, and we just mash it open.
Something he's going to be doing before the boss key skip is... You know what? You probably should explain it because I don't remember it that well.
No, it's all good, Ian. So we're going to go upstairs, open a seemingly random door to load a room to do a trick called gate unloading. This is an HD-specific trick. We load a gate into memory, and in the unoptimal, memory-laden SD version of the game, the gate shared a value with a gate in the Sky Temple, and loading one would unload the other. Because HD is on the Wii U and there's more RAM available, the gates just stay in memory. So if you load one, the other one is not there because it's loaded in the room in the water temple here. If you power cycle the Wii, it will reset. So the developers figured, oh, it's fine. Like we can get around having to reload this gate like you normally would, because most people won't be in the water temple and City in the Sky on the same power cycle. So we loaded the gate in the water temple here, and it literally does not load a gate in City in the Sky, blocking our path, and we can just get to the mini boss nice and quick later on.
Yeah, it's a pretty it's interesting because it's like he goes into this room and it's like, okay, well, what are you gonna do? And he just leaves, and that's it.
Yeah. Turn around and leave. It's crucial to remember to do this. A lot of beginner runners will do practice in the City in the Sky, and because that'll be the gate, the first gate loaded in memory, the gate will unload in Water Temple and won't be there when you do your run, or will be there when you do your run in City in the Sky and kind of mess you up. Thank you, Coral. I am not forgetting the gate. So we just load that room, turn around, and head straight back.
That's it. That's the trick. There you go.
We have one of the... Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just going to ask, so if I'm understanding that correctly, if I were a casual player and I went through that much of the game in a single power cycle, would that gate not be there, or...?
No, it would be there, because, well, I think let's just...
Oh yeah, this is Monka S moment. This is the Lake Bed boss key skip. Yeah, hopefully I can get it nice and quick here. It's a little bit tricky. Perfect. Let's go.
Nice. Good job. So no, as far as I know, I don't really remember HD that well. I'm more familiar with the GameCube version of this game, but if I remember correctly, you actually have to do a puzzle to lower that gate. So even if you got to City in the Sky, as far as I know, and this could be wrong, but as far as I know, the gate actually would still be there because you did a puzzle to clear it in Lake Bed.
I think Ian's right on that.
So the reason why it works is because you skip doing that puzzle, and you load it on the same power cycle, and those two things combined will actually make it so that the gate unloads and sitting in the sky.
Yeah, so that actually, we just saw one of the hardest tricks in the run, the Lake Bedbotsky skip. It went perfectly, though, which is all we can hope for. And now we're going to manipulate Morpheal into not doing the second phase by quick spinning that eyeball, or a jump spinning, I should say. We skip the second phase, head straight into third phase, and if we do our movement properly, it's very predictable. And then, ooh, we have a cutscene pee break. This is the, right after this boss fight is the perfect cutscene to take a 20-second pee break, so if you're like me and have a child-sized bladder, almost now is the time. So there is a way to have this fight consistent. If I, as quick as possible, swim up left here and claw the eye, good stuff. If I release L target on the fourth sword slash, Morpheal's movement will be predictable. I swim down left, and she should be right there to claw shot again. I think she's a she? I couldn't tell you.
I think so. I don't know. I'm not too familiar with giant worm monsters.
Me neither. There's a lot of tentacles. Too many. I don't know what's going on down there. Okay, so that's Morpheal. That's the water temple. This is the pee break time. I will be back. Uno momento. Enjoy the cutscene.
I have to be careful not to sing anything that's copyrighted so we don't get in trouble. So I'll just make up words as it goes along. Fish hit the wall.
Yeah, he kind of gets confused and just runs into the wall and dies, so that's the boss.
Reminds me of that millipede I found in my basement once.
Alright, what did I miss?
Singing
Nothing,
and...
nothing at all.
Oh, nothing. You didn't miss
Nothing.
anything.
I guess I'll have to watch the VOD.
Guess.
Yeah, so that was the water temple. Like I said, we do about a third of it. We do it backwards, wrong, and as quickly as possible.
Probably one of my favorite. I think it's definitely my favorite dungeon in the game. It's really, really cool.
Speedrunning or casual, Ian?
Oh, speedrunning. Casually, it's not too bad either. I like it casually as well, but speedrunning definitely.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I don't know. I like Palace of Twilight a lot. I know you're not a fan. Palace of Twilight. I think I ran TPSD for a month. I think it's pretty safe to say that Palace of Twilight is probably the hardest dungeon in terms of speedrunning. There's just a lot of small things you can do to mess it up.
Exactly, and there's not many like skips or tricks like we do with the water temple or any of the other ones, so you're kind of stuck doing all of it, and you're just focusing on movement and hoping for the best.
It's very easy to like fall and lose like 30 seconds or miss a platform cycle or like just something like ridiculous.
Something stupid goes wrong.
Yeah, it's like, yeah.
So we're running across fields again. If there's any donations or you guys have questions, now is the time.
We did get one $10 donation from the Wayfaring Fox saying, "This is my last donation for the marathon. Thank you all again for organizing everything. I'm really happy to have participated in such a great..." I did have to scroll to the side because that woo comment from about an hour ago has messed up the text formatting. So...
Oh my goodness.
It is the everlasting awoo.
So what you're saying is that awoo now has a $350 bounty on it. Or a fine, one could say.
Yes.
Oh, I see Coral in chat with the ropes, Monka S. Yeah. So we're coming up to a section here where I kind of have to walk across some ropes. They're very easy to mess up because their hitboxes suck. It's a Monka S moment. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, it's fine. Right below it, Titus Lupus asks, "What's the hardest boss in the run?"
Hardest boss? I would say... Oh, that's a really good question. Argarok and City in the Sky is hard to do well and optimized. Zant is hard to do well and optimized, but like just sheer difficulty, I'd say Diababa with Uklis, because Uklis is a really precise trick. I mean, casually, one of the hardest bosses probably... Oh, I don't even know. Oh, that's a really good question. What do you think, Ian?
I'm sorry, what's up? What do you think about what?
Oh, what's the hardest boss in the run?
But on HD at least, I think probably it's a mix between, I don't know, would you consider Horseback like a single boss fight?
Yeah, horseback's a phase of the final fights. The horseback is definitely difficult. That is a very good point.
Ganon's really hard. All of the Ganon fight is hard if you would consider that one boss fight. Argarok is pretty hard. Dialob is easy, I think. It's not... Dialob is easier than the other two, I think. So either Argarok or Ganon, I would say.
I'd say Zant. I think, yeah, Coral says Zant.
So?
And I think Zant is a pretty tough boss casually anyway.
Oh, you're talking about casually. Oh,
I don't know what we're talking about.
Casually? Blizzard wasn't too hard. I don't know. I think casually, probably Zant. I don't know.
Blizzeta's a fun boss. Okay, Blizzeta Phase 2, though, that music, oh,
Yeah.
punches me in the soul, dude. That is such good music.
Blizzard is a good boss fight.
It's unfortunate that we skipped the Blizzeta boss fight here. Actually, the
Yeah, it
only
kinda
reason we
sucks.
go to Snow Peak at all is to get the ball and chain because you need it to kill Zan. It is the only reason we go there. Alright, so we got through the first set of ropes. There are more ropes on the staircase that are also quite Monka-esque. Hopefully we can get through those nice and clean.
Oh yeah, the movement here is quite tricky. It's easy to lose a lot of time here.
It is. I'm not going for early bridge cycle because that is a sketchy trick.
Oh yeah, it only saves like 4, right?
Yeah, 4 or 5 seconds.
Yeah.
I mean, like, that's kind of hypocritical, like me taking the Kargarok out of bounds to save 6 seconds, and I'm like, ew, the early bridge, scary, no.
I think it's like a different thing though, you know?
That's true. Fun fact, we actually have to kill these bats here, otherwise Link won't climb the ledge.
It's so dumb.
He gets fixated, he's like, oh, the bats are alive? We can't go.
Yeah, he like, yeah. It's a weird thing. I don't know why it's like that, but it's like that.
Look, man, he's been running for almost 2 hours. He needs a snack, okay?
He just needs a nice baddie snack.
On ST you would just turn human and actually use the lantern there. There's a lot of differences between HD and SD, actually.
There are. It's a completely different speedrun.
It really is, yeah. They're both
There
really
are
cool
some
speedruns.
There are some techniques that carry over between the two, but they are very, very different speedruns.
Yeah, for sure.
I almost fell. That was scary. I'm telling you, these ropes are scary. They are.
They are. You get on them fast too. It's like, I don't know. It's kind of sus.
Not we good. One more little rope set here, and then we are outside. No, we good. We good. We made it. Let's go.
Did you know that you can jump attack the guys like on the rope?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I have bonked and fallen before, so I
So you're just not taking the risk. Okay, okay.
I'm like, yeah, it is not worth falling down the entire way.
Did the Wiimote ever use a function where you had to like balance the Wiimote to stay balanced on the ropes?
That was Skyward Sword.
Yeah, that was just Skyward Sword.
Oh no!
TP Wii didn't really have anything that was super dumb like that, thankfully.
Yeah, I was like my biggest quarrel with Skyward Sword was the motion controls
Yeah,
and fighting the Imprisoned 3 times, but we don't talk about that.
Oh, I thought you were about to jump off and the bridge was blowing. I'm like,
You just jump off the side for no reason.
Monk-ass, dude.
No, we good. We good. That went well. That was actually a really good casting segment there. Would I say I prefer the HD or the SD speedrun? Oh, definitely the HD Titus. The SD I looked at, like when I was looking at running Twilight Princess, I looked at the first 40 minutes of the SD run and I was like, yeah, I suck at video games. I'm gonna run the HD.
Yeah, ST is really hard because there's a lot of RNG in the beginning, and there are a lot of hard tricks that you have to pretty much nail. Otherwise, the run's over. So, for example, early Master Sword or Back in Time or anything like that.
Even Sword and Shield skip.
Oh yeah, of course, Sword and Shield's good.
It is
So
oh, go ahead.
So if I remember correctly, just the load times alone make a huge difference between the HD and SD version.
Well, yes, and the HD version versus the HD disc version, you save about 6 minutes in load times by using the digital copy. I found that out in June of this year. I thought it was only like I don't know, 20 or 30 seconds, but then someone in the community was like, no, it's a couple minutes. I did my first run on the digital copy and I PB'd by like 7 minutes or something. I was like, oh my god, where has this been my whole life?
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah, so SD, you're gonna lose a little bit of time in load times just because it is like an older format on the GameCube disc. But even the HD digital versus disc copy, you're gonna get time save and load times, which is really, really cool.
Yep.
Especially when you start out running disc, like I did. If I talk to Midna during the wind, like while the wind's blowing, Midna, oh, I'm gonna get nailed here. This is bad.
No, you're good. You're good. Oh.
Damn. Well, that happened.
I'm a little bit delayed, so it's like hard for me to tell.
Yeah, no worries, Ian. That was a bad example of doing the ropes. I'm telling you, ropes are monk ass, guys.
Ropes are hard.
That is
Ropes are hard.
rope boss.
It's okay. It's not too much time.
Ah, it's a marathon. We fine.
Yeah.
Whatever happens, happens. And that happened. I actually did this in practice last night, and I was like, oh yeah, I should be fine there. No problems. I haven't fallen in ages.
I didn't know you spawn all the way at the top if you void out. I had no idea that was the thing.
Yeah, that is the unfortunate part about voiding here. Alright, Lost Woods. So normally in this game you'd come through the Lost Woods twice, but we only do it once in the speedrun.
So this is a really weird part of the run. So what he's gonna do is he's going to get the Master Sword. Now, there's a Skull Kid, and he wants to chase down the Skull Kid and attack the Skull Kid. And after attacking the Skull Kid enough times, the shrine to the Master Sword will open. So for casual, you might like run around trying to find this guy. Well, Skuruwolf knows exactly where he's going, so
I do.
There's no issue there. So it's just attacking him. And then getting into the Sacred Grove, doing the puzzle, which Skuruwolf again will not have an issue with.
Yeah.
And then yeah.
That puzzle is well probably the hardest puzzle in the game casually if you have like.
It's really hard, yeah, isn't it?
But well, I'll run through it when we get there. Yeah, so this section, there's no RNG, there's no like frame perfect tricks or anything. It's all just optimizing movement to try and save time. Running through here, like for example, jumping off this log, I'm gonna try and time an A press so I don't end up in the water. If I end up in the water, it happens, but you ideally don't want to. It's like, oh, there we go. Like small optimizations like that save the seconds, and the seconds do add up through the course of the run. And if I run along the optimal path, cutting corners, kind of running like I'm playing Mario Kart, these skelly dudes won't be an issue. I can just outrun them. But if you kind of miss up a movement or like miss a turn or just like don't cut a corner quite enough, they start attacking you.
Yeah, they're really annoying. They can like actually do a lot of damage to you, and they're just obnoxious.
I have game over to those skelly dudes before.
Yeah, it's easy to. Especially when you're trying to go fast, so you don't want to attack them. They keep attacking you.
Yeah.
It's also spooky month right now, so they're twice as powerful.
Exactly. They are twice as powerful, and they're coming after me, and I'm scared. Somebody hold me. So, because I did some movement here, we can... Oh, hey, if my camera didn't go weird. What is my camera doing? I have never seen that before. Holy cow.
That's so weird.
That was really weird.
The cutscene that you couldn't skip.
Yeah, I've quite literally never seen it in like 400 or 500 runs through this game. Like, I've never seen that before.
That's so weird.
Bizarre stuff is happening. I don't want to say this run's cursed, because I have had a cursed run where like weird things happen, but weird things are kind of happening.
A little bit.
So I have to kind of back off and wait for Skull Kid to blow his horn before I can attack him. So that's kind of why I'm hanging back and attacking the dudes. Just biding my time. You actually have to attack one skelly dude out of each set before Skull Kid will blow his horn again. So ideally, I want to only kill one to reduce lag frames, but if I kill more, it kind of just is what it is.
Actually, no, I didn't know that at all, actually. That's interesting.
See, I just missed that horn blow. That was my bad. Being a bonehead and not paying attention. I gotta focus. Screw focus.
I think you gotta kill one.
I did.
Oh, okay.
This is me dodging off my adult responsibilities.
Very, very accurate.
No, I don't want to do dishes. I don't want to do laundry.
Okay, this is a hot take, but the worst chore is grocery shopping. I'll take laundry and dishes over grocery shopping any day.
Grocery shopping is fun if you have a significant other, but it's if you can't get all the bags inside in one trip, then you feel like you've just failed at life.
I don't know, for me it's like, oh, I have to eat again, mandatory money spend, So yeah, this puzzle casually is probably one of the toughest ones, but we just do left, down, up, 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 right, right, down, 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 left, up, and it's completed. But of course it takes a little bit longer than just saying it.
He's gonna go. I noticed that he's doing this thing, so I believe it's a 2 or 1 frame that you can activate senses.
I think it's 2 frames.
Okay, so when you can actually activate senses for a frame, but you have a 2-frame window to press the senses button, and it'll actually show up. And he's just doing it for fun. I mean, there's nothing else to do, so might as well.
Tactics.
Yeah, just one of those things to do to kill some time.
Alright, it is almost time to be a human here again. We just gotta touch the Master Sword. And I'm not gonna smash my spacebar because I'm not running a timer. Oh, I still went for it.
That puzzle would drive me nuts. Like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, casually it's a pain.
I'm not even joking. When I was a teenager, I played this game so much. I had a piece of paper stapled to the, I had a bunk bed, and, I left my clothes on the top bunk. Like, it wasn't a used bunk bed. But I stapled the solution to that puzzle to the underside of the bunk bed. So, I don't know why. I guess I just played the game enough to warrant it. But it's like, aha, there's the solution right there. I don't have to Google it or look in the player's guide. It is good to go.
I always use the player guide.
Did you ever play Link's Awakening, like either version of it?
I actually have never played Link's Awakening. It is on my list, though.
There's a puzzle in that game where you have to beat the enemies in a room in a very specific order, and at the time I first played it, I was so frustrated at that puzzle, I asked the manager of an Art Van furniture store for help.
Dude, my first Zelda Ocarina of Time playthrough when I was 6 years old, I got my hairdresser to come over and help me through the Spirit Temple.
Yo, shout-outs to the adults who helped our dumb brains.
To be fair, I borrowed the cartridge from her before I owned it, and then when I owned it and got to Spirit Temple, I was like, Patty, help! And she's like, yeah, I'll come over and play Zelda with a 6-year-old kid.
Shout-outs to all the Patties of the world, helping
Absolutely,
us when we can't help ourselves.
Shout-outs to Patty.
Donate for Patty. Hashtag donates for Patty.
So, if you have about 30 seconds for a quick childhood Zelda story, let me...
Absolutely, yeah, we were just watching a cutscene.
Okay, so there was a time when I was babysitting for a friend's little brother, and he was playing Ocarina of Time. Now, me at the moment, I was very much, you need to learn, you need to beat the game yourself, right? That's how you have the experience. And this poor kid was stuck in the water temple, and my dumb young teenage self was just like, no, I can't help you. You got to do it. You got to figure it out. Otherwise, you're not going to have the accomplishment of beating it yourself. And he cried because he was so upset. I did end up helping him once this poor child went into tears.
Before we lose it, I just want to chime in. DS just donated $6.08 saying, making those fun numbers. They did it specifically so the donation counter would read 5111.11.
Nice. Good stuff.
Thank you, DS.
We also got a $25 donation from Bursik saying, here's a little more to help pay off all those fines Rivali is racking up. Oh shoot, now I'm doing it.
It happens. It happens to the best of us. Okay, so we're coming up on a trick here called stealing the Lent bomb bag. Because we skipped Fire Temple, we don't have bombs. And we need bombs for the Arbiter's Crowns coming up. It's gonna look really weird, but I'm gonna do some fancy footwork to skirt the edge of a messenger fight trigger and transform into Wolf behind a sign. Our goal is to do the fight as Wolf, and the game wants it to do it as human. So if we do it as Wolf, handy side effect, I don't know why I'm reading that sign, is that we steal a Lent bomb bag from the minigame that we don't do. So hopefully we can get this nice and easy here. It's a little bit tricky.
The setup is very Ocarina of Time-esque, where you do very specific movement to get, on the...
Perfect.
On a specific spot on the ground. So what he did is he did a setup to activate that little, the wall, but not actually trap him in it. So when he stepped on that specific part, the game said, okay, drop it when he hits the trigger. So then from that point, he can get behind the sign, turn Wolf, and then go inside of the trigger and activate it.
Yeah, so the game's trying to force us to do this as human because is like, oh, you got to do my mini game, bomb the river, and it's just slow and tedious, and we don't want to do that. We want to do it as fast as possible, of course, because this is a speed run. So she's like, shoo, get away, and then pulls us inside anyway. We're gonna warp away, talk to her again. So the first time is to set the temporary flag in memory. So we have a temporary bomb bag right now. And by warping away and coming back, we actually get a permanent flag bomb bag in memory. So when we save warp in the Arbiter's Grounds, bombs persist through that save warp. And then I'm going to talk to her again because for some reason the bomb bag empties and she fills it for us for free. So we are literally exploiting this lady and stealing her bombs. And then we're out of here.
Look, if a cute pupper asked me for explosive devices, I wouldn't ask questions.
Neither would I, honestly. Alrighty, so we got bombs now, and we're off to Arbiter's Grounds. Good stuff.
That is actually, normally when you get a bomb bag from her, you can only rent it, or not rent it, but you only have it until you save warp. But since he did that with the Master Sword, and the way he did it, he actually has it, like you said, permanently. So he actually has it for the rest of the game. So that's something to mention. Also, since he has the Master Sword, for anybody who doesn't know, he can just warp around, transform between wolf and human whenever he wants. So
that is the great side effect of getting the Master Sword is we now can be a wolfy good boy whenever we want. Oh, a fun side effect of stealing the bomb bag, climbing this ladder here. If you take a look in the top left of your screen at my item wheel, I have 3 Gale Boomerangs. Side effect, we're just gonna fix that real quick.
Can we have some pets in the chat for the Wolfie Good Boy?
Absolutely.
do you like Arbiters, Skiro? Do you like
Arbiters is it's a definitely a run killing thing. There's a run killing segment. There are so many RNG elements and like tricky tricks. Like they're not difficult tricks, but they're definitely tricky tricks. The whole temple is pretty Monka-esque RNG wise. Even the final boss Stallard, like first phase, if you get bad RNG, you're getting like slam dunked into the Shadow Realm.
So I've always really hated Arbiter's Grounds, but every single Twilight Princess speedrunner I talk to, they're always like, "Ah, dude, I don't know what you're talking about. I love it." This, you know, I don't know.
It's not a bad temple. It's just it is a very, very, very easy to lose time if you do one thing wrong.
Yeah, for sure.
How's your head, Link?
Do we have time for a quick donation?
Absolutely. I'm going to be running here for the next 2 minutes.
We've just had something added to the incentives. Leaf Otter donated $5 and said, "So stoked we made our goal. It was amazing to open up the lead-up streams with Celeste." Sorry, I gotta scroll. "I'm throwing my hat in the ring as well. If we hit $6,000 raised, I'll throw in a free copy of Celeste. Good luck on the run."
That's super generous. Thank you so much, dude. Yeah, so we are just literally running across the desert here. You do this casually. You might stop at the entrance to the Cave of Ordeals and grab the warp portal, but pretty much we're running, we're grabbing a boar, we're entering the lead up to the Arbiter's Grounds entrance, doing some fancy footwork, and then Arbiter's Grounds. But yeah, we're running for the next little bit here. If there's any more donations or anything like that, feel free to toss them.
Let me see here real quick. That was the most recent donation. But for those of you who have been watching or just tuned in, we are finishing up with our last run of Fastest Furs for Life, the first ever speedrunning marathon organized by members of the furry community. Over the course of this event, we had 41 different speedrunners take part, in addition to more than a dozen volunteer hosts, moderators, and streamers. And our goal was $5,000 for Children's Miracle Network, and you guys have helped us surpass that. Thank you so much. We do have incentives for $6,000, $7,000, and $7,500. So if you donate during this run, or just if you donate in general, you know, you may have a chance to win. But thank you for your time, your attention, your generosity, and thank you for being here as we help close out this great event.
Absolutely, and I just want to say a big thank you for having me. Like this has been a lot of fun so far, and I really appreciate the invite. And of course, raising money for charity is the best thing about this. I really am backing this.
It is a total pleasure to have you with us, and we're thankful that you're joining us and showing us your amazing talents.
It's amazing talent and big quotations. Trust me on that one. My speedruns normally turn into Let's Plays. I'm like, oh yeah, well, I'm like 2 hours in, I don't really want to reset, so we're gonna do a no reset, and it's now a Let's Play.
Look, man, I'm getting to watch a Legend of Zelda game and a Woo at the same time. This is the best part of my weekend, as far as I'm concerned.
Fair, fair.
So he's actually going to do a long jump attack. So essentially he's doing a small key skip here. So what he's going to do is he's going to line up. Oh, did you miss it?
Oh, I missed it.
Oh, it's okay. It's actually kind of precise. I think we'll leave a few frames to press A for the jump attack. But so what he's going to do is he's going to go to... so this can actually turn into like a lot of chaos really fast. But essentially he wants to get a long jump attack. And then kind of climb the out of bounds area. Oh, nice. Okay. He wants to climb the out of bounds area, and then hit the air trigger for the King Bulbin 3 fight. And then that just skips getting a small key, so
It saves
fast.
about 40 to 50 seconds if done optimally the first try, but that was a little bit of a slip up there. It happens.
Still saved like at least 30.
4 quick spins, swing and a miss, and then more quick spins here. King Bubbling, come on, buddy. Be nice to me. I am soft there, bud. Good fight.
This fight's really hard on TP HD because the quick spins, you only hit him once per quick spin. On TPSD, you can hit him up to 30 times per quick spin, so TPHD has a little bit of a hard time fighting King Bulbin 3, but he did
In
quite
the
well.
SD version, you can actually stun lock him too and just kill him like one cycle straight up.
Yeah. Also, something to note about what he just did for the small key skip. Once you miss it once, it's really easy to get like destroyed by everybody trying to snipe you. So it's actually really good that he got it the second try really fast.
Absolutely. The longer you take, the more guys with fire arrows spawn, and the more you get nailed with them. It is. It's pretty
bad.
tedious. But we got it, so we good. We looking good.
Yeah.
And I got to show it off too.
Right. So. We're going into Arbiter's Grounds. This is very, if you've ever played Ocarina of Time, this is exactly like Forest Temple. Get the 4 pose, do a little bit more of the dungeon, and then end game, or end of the temple, rather.
We're going to do just about half of this temple. We're going to do it completely backwards and wrong, and it's going to be a good time. Let's have a nice clean Arbiters. Get your brooms out. Let's do this.
So Arbiters is pretty tricky. There's a lot of movements that kind of have to get right. I don't really... There's one thing coming up called post skip. I don't know if you want to explain that, Skiro?
Yeah, I can explain Po1 skip.
Cool.
So in the game, in the room coming up here, there's like a Po after the cutscene where it's like, oh, it's the gimme Po, like to show you what's going to happen when you kill the Pos. With a really precise LJA angle change and a ledge grab, we can actually skip killing that first Po and save about 40 seconds over a casual speedrun. It's a tricky trick though. Hopefully we can get it like within 1 or 2 tries, but it is a monkey ass moment for sure.
It's pretty precise, yeah, but it's, you know, it's not too bad. It's pretty precise though.
You can't actually do it if you have low health. Like if you have beeping hearts,
really?
you can't do Po1 skip.
Why is that?
I don't know. It just doesn't work. It's
what part of it doesn't work? Like the LJA or?
Oh no, the clip up on the ledge.
It's probably due to his like low health animation or something.
It's gotta be. But yeah, if you have beeping hearts, it doesn't work. Which is
That's
a good thing that
crazy.
we don't.
I
Yeah, no,
never
I
knew
found that out after failing it for about 5 minutes in a run, and I was like, like what happened? And the Discord's like, oh yeah, you can't do it if you have low health. And I'm like, oh, that's good to know.
How do you figure that sort of thing out? Like, what thought process leads you to realize that that's the reason?
I guess it's just like, oh, well, when I'm full health, it works. When I'm low health, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Nothing else has changed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a tricky trick. So we're gonna go through the door here, just skip killing that first Po.
That's really
First
interesting. I
thing
never knew that.
is first here. We are going to throw a bomb for the boys.
So he's gonna throw a bomb to distract the enemy so they don't attack him while he's doing this. So that's the point of the bomb throw.
Just about. Just missed it. So yeah, the angle on that pillar up clip is pretty precise, and then of course the ledge grab as well.
I'm surprised you missed that.
Yeah, honestly, that should have been there.
That looks really good.
First try, Kappa. Let's go.
Dude, first try. Let's go. Nice.
And we just LJA across the second gap to skip more of the dungeon. Yay! Sequence breaks. Well, it's not really a huge sequence break. It's just dungeon skips.
It's actually
Oh, sorry. So if I got that right, you threw the boomerang, you jumped to the pillar, and then on the way back, you did the LJA off.
Kind of. What happened there was I did the LJA to the pillar, and then I mashed A on the pillar to kind of roll up the pillar, and then my angle was set so I could grab the ledge, and then we ran across the platform, and then did an LJA across the sand that we can't really get across.
Awesome.
So it was
awesome.
LJA, up grab, ledge clip, and then another LJA.
So I'm actually not familiar with this part, but don't you? I could be wrong on this, but isn't there some sort of manipulation to where you can get him to like be vulnerable quicker, or am I crazy?
Kind of. We want him to do big circles because big circles are fast. There is some manipulation you can do to get him to do big circles faster. Like right here, we got the best, so I do a jump attack, and he should do big circles and not do small circles. Oh, well, that's embarrassing, I guess.
Damn.
No, we want him to do big circles because then he's just kind of, you get through the fight faster.
Right, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, I think the back one you like B attack, the left one you jump attack through, the right one you B attack, and the front one you B attack. Like it's very specific.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Make sure you get the scent, by the way.
Thank you, Ian. Thank you. This is
No
the
problem.
crucial. This is the whole reason we do pull one skip is to sniff the pull right here.
I actually forgot about it until like just now, so.
Yeah, that's a good timing too because I have forgotten that and killed a run before.
Yeah, I've known that too, so.
So with this box here, we're gonna push it exactly 4 times, no more, no less. By pushing it 4 times, we it keeps itself. So when we reset the room when we come back later, any less, like we could sneak through, yes, and save time now, but it'll reset back to its original position. So we push it 4 times so it doesn't reset, and we can continue on.
It's interesting to note that since he did Poe 1 skip, he's actually kind of going to be going in reverse here, sort of. He's gonna unlock a door from behind, and
Yes.
that's just what he's gonna do due to being able to do Poe 1 skip.
So without the post scent, you can't actually dig that little spot on the ground that I just did. Like, you know where it is, you know you gotta dig it, but when you dig, nothing happens. So we gotta get the Poe scent, set the flag in memory, and then we can dig the spot and kind of continue on through the temple here. Nice and backwards, of course.
Yeah, so it's just for clearing the flag. Like, he obviously knows where he's going. It's like such a weird thing too, because it's like, I don't know, but yeah. You do need to just set the flag, and that's why that Poe is really necessary to scent, or to smell, or whatever. Also, he's going to be grabbing red rupees here. He wants 300 for the cannon and City in the Sky, so...
I gotta buy a cannon repair, and it's expensive. So yeah, ideally we want to exit Arbiter's Grounds with around 80 rupees. That's kind of the ideal. Of course, we do have backups if you don't. Like, it saves a little bit of time if we get the ideal rupee route. Excuse me, Poe? My targeting is weird.
This Poe is so annoying, because like you can also like attack the other enemies during the minute charge.
Yeah, it can be a little bit annoying. That's why, like, when I say Arbiter's Grounds, it's like huge RNG time loss. It's for like little movement things like that. Like, you can't predict where the skulls are going to be at all times, and yeah, you always have to factor in some RNG time loss.
For sure. Yeah. So the reason why Poe 1 skip works actually is that I guess the developers thought that you had to get the first Poe to get the other 3. So it's a lot like they do this with other Zelda games with other flags, but they only check for the last 3 Poes and not the first one.
Yeah.
So if you have the last 3 Poes, it actually acts like you have level 4. I don't know.
It's in the same vein how we skip Fire Temple and Temple of Time. The game's only checking whether or not you have the last Fused Shadow or you have the last Mirror Shard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just I wouldn't say it's lazy programming, but they just assume they're like, oh yeah, you'll get this, no problem. Like, you'll get this for sure, kind of thing. And then break and skip it all.
So if they like just set the flag to have all Fused Shadows or all Mirror Shards, this speedrun would be very, very different. But
Hours longer.
yeah.
And this is the door we opened with the key backwards. So now we're going backwards again.
Right. He just needs one more Poe.
Yep. And then to the second half.
The second half is actually surprisingly kind of fast. He
Yes.
actually also goes through that backwards as well, so. If I remember correctly.
Absolutely, I do. With a really easy trick that you can do at home. I will explain it when we get there.
Oh yeah, it's definitely really lenient and easy. It's pretty
So
cool.
if you ever get tired of doing Arbiter's Grounds, there is an easy trick that lets you skip a lot of the back end. Oh, this fight is not going well.
That's okay.
Oh my goodness. Please, if I die here, that would be so sad.
Oh my god. These enemies are so bad. There's
There
okay,
we go.
got this.
Jeez Louise. Those little skelly jerks, I'm telling you, they are tough.
Yeah, that kind of stuff can happen in Arbiter's Grounds, so.
That's why Arbiter's Grounds is one of the biggest run killers. It's just, things go wrong, and they go wrong often. But when they go right, it feels really good. You're like, ah yes, that was a sick Arbiters.
You know what? Let me ask the Discord why that cutscene skip didn't happen earlier. I want to see if they can respond and like I can see why.
How much marathon safety can I plan for? That's a really good question, Keith. So I did a safety save earlier before Milk Dive, and I'm going to do one in City in the Sky. But beyond that, the rest of the run is actually pretty marathon safe. That is a great question, though. Is Arbiter's Grounds the worst part of the run for RNG, Titus? That is a really good question, too. I'd say it is one of the worst, if not the worst. Another huge RNG kind of time loss that we have to contend with is the Zelda fight right at the end of the game. It can be ugly if you don't get good RNG. So right here, if you're playing this game casually, you line up with that crack in the wall and press B. You can clip behind, and then just tap B to get across the sand there and grab the boss key early. It's because of, yeah, RNG and bad cycles, Key. You're absolutely right. So, like, the optimal RNG for Zelda is a 7-cycle Zelda, but I've seen up to 15. You just, she doesn't want to do the right attacks, and you can't do anything until she does the right attacks. Yeah, we're doing this part completely backwards here. Oh, oh.
It skips a few rooms, so.
Yep, absolutely. And a big slow elevator room where you gotta get a key and, like, it's just slow. Okay, let's go. So again, you can just hop with Link across the quicksand. A lot of people didn't know, like I didn't know about that casually. You could just hop across the sand. Oh. Oh, please, Link, movement. Oh man. Let's just pick up all the skulls for good luck. Good stuff. And we can just kind of blow up the skeletons. And I mean, no person who is a cool, bad boy. I was gonna say a bad word. You don't look at explosions in this game. You just assume they happen. Okay, let's go into Death Sword.
So I don't think we've brought this up yet, but I believe that there was a bit of a donation incentive regarding some iron boots.
Yes, yes, there is indeed. Ian, would you mind explaining that while I kill Death Sword here?
One more time, I'm sorry.
Oh, Iron Boots incentive.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, right. So the Iron Boots incentive, I would assume, is just equipping Iron Boots before the final blow on Ganondorf, and then watching the end cutscene where Link is watching Iron Boots, and it's actually, it's kind of funny, actually, so. Because Link just sprints full force with the Iron Boots on.
It's leg day for Link.
Yeah.
Good stun loss.
Nice. Good fight.
That was extremely clean.
Yeah, that wasn't too bad. I could have done the quick spin when he was circling around to knock him down faster, but he went left instead of right, and I was on the wrong side. Near optimal. Near optimal.
The boss designs in this game are so cool.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, they are awesome.
Alright, time for the most useless item in the game.
Yeah, it kind of is.
Yeah, right? Other than like this is like the most useless item that's mandatory, rather.
Yes, that is correct. It is mandatory because we can't do City in the Sky or Hyrule Castle or finish off Arbiters without it.
Yeah.
It was my favorite weapon of choice in Hyrule Warriors. Excuse you, sir.
I actually never played Hyrule
Could
Warriors.
you use that in Hyrule Warriors? I never played that game.
I
That's
think
crazy.
so.
That is insane.
I did not know that.
Wolf Tweak asks, do we get to see fishing with Ganon?
I mean, it's slow, but we could maybe do a donation incentive instead of Iron Boots. Yeah, so if you pull out the fishing rod while you're fighting Ganon, he kind of gets distracted. But we have a quick kill method with the speedrun that we can actually kill him way faster than we ever could with the fishing rod.
Fishing
good
rod on
question,
Ganondorf is sick.
Yeah, he's like, huh? Huh? And then you can attack him.
Yeah.
To follow up, yes, the spinner was a weapon in Hyrule Warriors. You could ride on it, throw smaller spinners, charge it with electricity before punching enemies with it, and his special attack summons a giant spinner rail that he travels up before using the spinner to deliver a jumping down punch onto the.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
so like, if that was in this game, I think the spinner would be a lot cooler than it is. Because like, we ride it, that's it. We can use it on walls like this, that's it.
Yeah, I don't really do much with it.
Could you imagine charging it with electricity and like using a special attack on a boss fight? Like, oh my god, that'd be so sick.
It says he will equip the spinner to his arm in order to deliver spinner enhanced punches.
What? Man, we got gypped out in this game. Spinner is like, yay, we're doing some squats, like Link.
Yeah, I love
used
this
the
leg
spinner,
day
and now
workout.
I have to mash X to do the squats too. It's not even automatic. It's like, what does this item really do for us?
Can't squat, must squat.
So even though the spinner has, very restricted use, I guess, I think the boss fight with it is really innovative and clever.
Oh
That's
yeah,
cool.
this is casually my favorite boss fight in the entire Zelda franchise.
That's really? That's cool. I didn't know that.
Speedrunning, it's very difficult to do well.
Yeah, so this fight, it's very RNG heavy, especially in the first phase. The second phase is hard, but it's not as RNG heavy. The first phase is very RNG heavy. So essentially, how the fight goes is that there are these dead zombies, I guess. I don't know what they are. They're soldiers.
Some skeletons.
Yeah, and they can block you. So your point is that you want to get to the spine and hit this guy's spine with the spinner. Well, each time you hit his spine with the spinner, more and more of these guys come out. And how they come out is complete luck. It's just all RNG. So far it's going very well. This last phase, or last cycle, is the hardest. But yeah, it's pretty much just luck where these guys come from. For the third phase, optimally, he wants to bounce off of one of these guys and hit the spine, which he might be able to do. Nice. Nice. That was a really good first phase.
That was squeaky.
It was a little slow, but in general, it was quite good.
Oh yeah, no, you can lose like 40 seconds easily in that first phase just due to bad RNG.
Definitely. Yeah, that's a hard fight.
Coming up here though, we're gonna go for early knockdown in one cycle. Early knockdown is a pretty precise trick. I gotta time some rolls and get on my spinner at just the right time, and if we do it right, we can skip almost the entire fight.
Do you use the audio cue for this?
I use audio, visual, and like timing.
Cool.
I know there is an audio cue that you can look for, or listen for, but I suck at it. I just kind of go with what feels right. Sometimes I get it, sometimes I don't.
Hopefully you do. Yeah, this quick kill would be really fast. So
it's pretty cool. It saves about 40 seconds.
40? Okay.
30 to 40.
That's a lot.
Oh,
okay.
Maybe it's just me being bad.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do here is roll 5 times, adjust my camera on rolls 3, 4, and 5, and then get on my spinner. 2, 3, 4, 5. And we got early knockdown. Good stuff.
Nice.
And we need to 1 cycle, so I'm gonna chain my quick spins here.
Ooh, counterclockwise.
Good
very
fight.
fancy. Nice. That was actually a really good start.
Ideal. That was ideal.
That was good. That's a pretty hard boss fight to do well, so.
You know, that actually went really well, both first and second phase. I'm happy. Let's go. That also has one of the best boss soundtracks other than Blizzetta 2.
Are you gonna grab this heart? How many hearts?
Yeah, I'm grabbing this heart container for sure.
Do you go into Palace with 6 or
3, 4, 5 usually.
5? Okay. Yeah, you normally want a lot of hearts for Palace. It's really easy to die. Like, even World Record gets hearts.
Yeah, I have a safety fairy that I picked up in the water temple just in case. I always
nice.
pick that up,
Okay.
but
I didn't even realize.
I literally just hit the spacebar to split. Whoops.
It's actually the $10,000 donation incentive. I will send someone a safety fairy so that the next time you would have taken fatal damage, the safety fairy will keep you alive.
Oh, perfect. Everybody needs one. At least one. Yeah, I'm really happy with how that boss fight went. That was good.
Yeah, that was definitely good.
So yeah,
now it's time for fishing.
Yeah, I was just about to say our next thing, we gotta catch a sniff and fish it here. You knew what I meant to say.
No, I think that's exactly what you meant to say.
I'm gonna use that phrase in everyday life. Let's catch a sniff and fish this thing.
Let's catch a sniff and fish it. Yeah, we just have to activate the mirror shrine here, and then we're on our way.
What's the reason for having to do this in HD and not having this be required in on the GameCube version? Do you know?
I believe in SD. I actually don't know 100%, but I think you do it later on, but you can't actually warp away in HD until you do it. I think is the thing.
Oh, I think they patched it out in HD, but you can just map warp away. Like you can just open the map and warp away, like you do for Early City.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. They patched it, I think, in this version, which is so weird that they patched this but not Early City in this guy. They
actually tried to patch Early City with the statue clip. They made the open hitbox a lot smaller in HD.
Yeah, they did.
Easily able to sneak through there.
And that's the thing. It's like, why would they patch? Why wouldn't they just double patch it that way in case one patch doesn't work, the other would. You know what I mean? Like,
who knows? They got rid of all the fun time saving glitches. Like in SD, they have a trick called map glitch, which lets you completely skip getting the reeffish scent, and it saves you about 10 minutes. Like everything we're doing right now, you can literally just skip and run up the mountain. But because there's huge void plains in the way until you get the reeffish scent, we have to do it. Map glitch turns off loading in void zones, and they just run straight up the mountain. So yeah, in HD, even if you knew your way up the mountain, you would still die.
Yeah, there are 4 void triggers. When you get the fish scent, 2 of the void triggers are removed, and that's what allows you to move up Snow Peak. On SD, when you do map glitch, every single void trigger is removed, so you can just sprint at full speed up the mountain. So.
All right, we got our nice commission from Eshe, and let's go bring it to the Zora Child. Get some earring. Well, some earring, 1 earring.
Yeah, so he wants to get the coral earring. That way he can catch the proper fish to get the reek fish scent, remove the void triggers, and then move to Snow Peak. This entire detour is based around the one fact, or the only fact, that we need a ball and chain to kill Zan. That's it. Yeah. For only one phase. That's the only thing we need ball and chain for.
Yep. So. We do about a quarter of Snow Peak. We do it completely backwards and wrong. We get the ball and chain. We don't even kill the final boss. Like we steal the ball and chain. We're out of there. And yeah, if we didn't need the ball and chain for the Zan fight, we could avoid all of this. But it is what it is. We gotta do it.
That should be what the official meaning of catching a sniff and fishing it is, when you take the item you need from an area and then fish it out of there without actually finishing the area.
Catching a sniff and fishing it. Getting what we need and leaving. I like it.
Yeah, I like it. I consider that canon now.
Alright, so we got the coral earring. Back to Zora's Domain to do some fishing. And the reek fish is kind of trolly. You can lose a lot of time because of reek fish RNG. Hopefully it goes well, but if it doesn't, it is what it is. I'm not very hidden there. I'm surprised that worked. Yeah, so when you transform from human to wolf, you have to be like hidden from NPCs. I guess after Majora's Mask, they kind of realized, oh, this would probably freak a lot of people out. So in this game, you have to be hidden from almost all NPCs. I don't think there's a single NPC you can transform directly in front of. You have to hide Link's head. The box that checks is in Wolf Link's head or Human Link's feet.
Yeah, it's really there are some NPCs where you can just like transform like behind a sign 2 feet in front of them, and then there are other NPCs where you can't transform within like 25 feet of them, no matter what you're behind. It's so weird.
Come on, Reekfish, be nice to me. I am soft. Boop.
This is also RNG, by the way.
Yes, that was the best RNG we could hope for. The one boop and then the grab. If you
Nice.
if you pull your rod on the boop, you're gonna lose at least 20 seconds. And I have forgot to sniff this fish before. The whole reason we're here is to sniff this fish. Good stuff.
Nice.
I like the
Ups.
combination of terminology here. If you pull the rod on the boop and sniff the fish.
You know, you gotta go with what works. And that works.
It does.
The good terminology. The fish on. Alrighty, up Snow Peak we go. So we're gonna kind of optimize movement a little bit. Well, I mean, obviously we're gonna optimize movement, but there's a couple insta-clip ledges where the actual animation for Link climbing the ledge doesn't play, and you just kind of teleport to the top of the ledge. There are 6 of them in the game. We use 3 in the speedrun, and 1 of them pushes you out of bounds so you don't go for it. I'll kind of talk a little bit more about that when I get up there, but for now we're just going to follow the scent up the mountain and avoid these white wolfos. You can't actually kill them. You can attack them as much as they want, but they will not die.
Yep.
We just run past.
So are you going up or down the mountain right now?
We are
Up.
going up. Very up.
So this is the ascent?
Yes. The ascent following the scent trail. And there's one insta-clip and 2 insta-clip. Perfect. Let's go.
Oh, mind if I answer a chat question?
Absolutely.
Kitlock says, question for SonicMega. If you could voice a character in the Zelda franchise, which character would it be? You know, Legend of Zelda, it's such a long span. I wish I could voice any character in that franchise. Hasn't happened yet, but if it did, it would definitely be Girahim from Skyward Sword.
Oh my god, Girahim is an amazing character.
I did like a very brief fan dub scene back in the day, and I've always really enjoyed playing characters that are very eccentric. Like, I have a very high natural level of energy, and so I tend to do exaggerated personalities much better than nuanced or more authentic, realistic. So for eccentric characters like Girahim, who just really display themselves as much as they do, I have a lot of fun with that type of role, and it would have been an absolute blast for me.
Oh, so you're a voice actor.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I apologize.
Oh wait. Like,
I honestly did not know that.
I voiced Rivali Teba in the Great Deku Tree in Breath of the Wild.
Oh, Jesus, yeah, I did not know that. Well, that's pretty cool. That sounds like it would have been a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was very fun. Quite a challenge.
Yeah, no doubt. I really was surprised with the voice acting in Breath of the Wild. It kind of blew me away, to be honest.
What he just did there, you might not even have noticed it. He just did an LJ to hit a void. That's actually a messenger skip. So he skipped doing a messenger fight. He just voided out and hit the trigger to actually spawn past the messenger fight. Kind of similar to KB2 skip, but not really. Sort of, kind of.
Oh, thank you,
but-
Ian. I completely forgot. I just brushed right over. I'm like, blah, blah, blah.
So also something else that kind of sucks from doing this trick is that the entire map is extremely foggy, so he has to do all the snowboarding in the fog, which is pretty hard. It's pretty easy to avoid out.
It's a lot worse on SD.
Oh,
In
is it
HD
really?
Yeah, in HD you can kind of see where you're going, but in SD you're like blocked by a wall of fog. And the rupees don't spawn in SD, but we're lucky that there's enough memory they can spawn the rupees and the fog. So that's kind of how we work in our rupee route here. I'm gonna go for the treetop rupees.
Okay.
If we get them, we can skip Bell Tower, but if I miss any one of them, we have to do Bell Tower. And my rupee count isn't looking too healthy right now as it is, so I think we might have to do Bell Tower anyway. We needed 80 coming out of Arbiters, but we only have 78, and the 2 will make up the difference.
How slow is Bell Tower?
Say it again?
How slow is Bell Tower compared to...
Maybe 20, 25 seconds.
Oh, okay, it's not terrible.
Yeah, it's not the worst. But yeah, we missed it by 3 rupees.
Damn.
That's okay. And snowboarding is a Monka S moment. But we got it. We good.
I didn't realize the fog was worse on on SD.
Oh yeah, it is way worse on SD. It is like blessed that we do not have that kind of fog.
Yeah, it is really bad on SD.
Okay, decent. We didn't void. We did not
Nice.
fall down and die. But
That
yeah,
was
we will
good,
have to do... Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, we will have to do bell tower backup because I needed 180 after snowboarding. Alright, time for some Snow Peak. Like I said, we're going to do about a quarter of this dungeon. We're doing it completely backwards and wrong. And it's pretty neat. It's pretty neat to watch. Oh, there it is. Oh. Oh. So this floor is bombable. Normally, like halfway through the temple, you'd be up there and then bomb the floor to get the piece of heart. But we just LJA right across the gap and gonna continue on with our lives.
Yeah,
And I'm gonna do it. Go ahead.
that floor is a one-sided collision. So that means he can claw shot through the floor because it only has collision from one side, and that's why he can hook shots or claw shot from it. That's 2 LJAs to get to the small key chest. Normally you need ball and chain for that. And yeah.
Yeah, we can do that early because we need a key to get into the courtyard down below. And the LJAs are, like I said, the Gale Boomerang is the best item in the game, especially while speedrunning.
Yeah,
Well,
it
it's
is.
kind of useless casually, actually, to be honest.
Is it your favorite item from Legend of Zelda of all time, or is there a specific item that you like the most?
That's a really good question. I would say of all time, just because it lets you do so much in Twilight Princess. I mean, Majora's Mask, Zora Mask is pretty cool, and actually bombs in Majora's Mask speedrunning is pretty good. But I think the Gale Boomerang unlocks a lot of the map, and you can just kind of do what you want. So I'm doing a trick here called Freezer Skip, which lets me enter the
Nice.
mini boss without having to do the whole puzzle and everything.
Nice, that was a good freezer skip. Freezer skip is actually pretty hard. So yeah, that skips a pretty big puzzle. And
Gonna
this
go
is
for
the
quick
mini
kill
boss.
here.
Yeah, there's a quick kill on this guy. This is the mini boss. This is literally the only thing he came into Snow Peak for.
Good quick kill.
Nice. Alright.
Yeah.
And after this, he's just gonna get a rupee and leave, and that's it.
Actually, I'm not grabbing the
Wow,
rupee
that
because I
was
gotta do Bell Tower.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, never mind, it's smarter. Yeah, okay.
Bell Tower gives me 200 and I need 300 for the cannon. If I would have had 3 more green rupees, I could have grabbed the suit of armor rupee and skipped Bell Tower, but
Right.
rupee count wasn't quite ideal. That's okay.
Right,
Good
so,
stuff.
yeah.
And again, just like in Arbiter's and Forest Temple, we are save warping out of here.
So I'm curious, over the years that you've spent running this game, have there been any significant evolutions in the speedrun of this?
It's interesting that you asked that question. I've actually only been running Twilight Princess HD since January of this year. And since I've been running it, no, there have not. But I believe, if Ian wants to explain, we kind of touched on it a little bit earlier with the Epona clip. You used to have to go out through North Hyrule Field and like out of bounds and then use bombs to kill King Bublin that we skipped. It was a little bit tedious, and I think the new route where we just do Epona clip saves about 7 minutes. But I think that's the only more recent one that I wasn't around when that happened, but that's like the most recent thing I think that's been found in Twilight Princess HD.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm not super familiar with TP. It's not like my main Zelda game, but I do know that, well, back with TPSD when they had they had early Master Sword in TPSD, and that allows you to skip Goron Mines and do a lot of other stuff. And when TPHD came out, they found out that there was a bunch. I think they like triple patched early Master Sword. There's absolutely no chance of getting early Master Sword on HD. And with that being said, they didn't really have a way to skip Goron Mines at the time. So the TPHD was the same speedrun, except they did Goron Mines, and everything was a lot slower, obviously. But then I think in I want to say like 20. I could be really wrong on this, but I think around 2016, 2017, they found Goron Mine Skip. And that's been the biggest find for the game recently, other than King Moment 2 Skip. This game is really hard to sequence break, just because there's a lot of flags you need to clear, and like, it's sort of like Skyward Sword, where it's like you can't really get around a lot of the stuff that you need to do. There are a lot of theoretical things like early Hyrule Castle or linear Twilight Escape, but nobody really has a good idea on how to do any of that, if that's even possible. People, Wind Waker found actor unloading, and people also found a certain form of actor unloading on the original version of this game, but it's pretty useless. On an HD, it has a much more memory, so it's even more useless on TPHD. So there's not really any huge sequence break that's been found for a while, just because it's so hard to break.
Yep. So if you saw me clip through that statue there, that saves about 1 hour and 40 minutes over a casual playthrough. We just skipped the Temple of Time, the Hidden Village, and all the lead-up quests to the City in the Sky. Just straight up City in the Sky time.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's all good.
I was
Dude.
rambling.
It's not a super difficult trick to do, but it does do the sequence break.
Yeah, that saves an hour. Like
1 hour and 40. Yeah.
an hour and 40, really?
Yeah.
I didn't
Over
know-
a casual
wow.
run.
That's
It is
crazy.
One of the biggest, well, the biggest sequence break.
I'd say so, yeah. It's a pretty huge one. That is, yeah.
So we are off to City in the Sky. Of course, you saw Chicken Nipple jump in the cannon with us.
Chicken Nipple.
She will be visiting us right after we land, and then we'll never see her again. Thank goodness. The oo in this game scares the crap out of me. I think they based the design off of a like a Roman lore harpy, and man, those things are scary. Chicken nipple. Fun fact, this chicken has 8 nipples.
Does it actually have 8 nipples?
It does. Running down its neck.
That is... wow.
Yes.
How much do I have to donate to have that memory scrubbed from my brain?
I'm sorry. You will have to donate at least $100. I think it'll get you the good old brain zappy.
Where's my safety fairy?
This is like the nicest, most serene, almost holy looking place with these creatures of pure nightmare.
And those are the good guys too. The ook are literally the good guys. Like they help you throughout the temple. You pick them up like you do the cuckoos in Ocarina of Time and fly around with them. I mean, we're not going to do that in the speedrun because it's slow, but you can do that.
Oh, okay, so he's gonna go for something called fan skip here. It saves about 2 minutes, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, roughly.
Okay, so yeah. So did you save, by the way?
I will right now. Thank you.
No worries.
Save, because if I mess up this trick, I mean, in a speedrun, it's run over.
Yeah.
But,
so he skips there's a ground trigger, and it's right before opening this next door that he's gonna open. And the ground trigger, once you hit it, the fan up top will actually start to move. But if you don't hit that air trigger and you're very careful at how you open the door, the fan actually won't trigger. So he just did it there. It was successful. It's not moving. That's going to allow him to skip a few rooms in City in the Sky. So just a easy 2-minute sequence break. So.
Oh, Keat actually asked a really good question in chat. Unlike other Zelda speedruns, there is no difference for using another language. In Twilight Princess HD, it is, I believe, 5 seconds faster to use Japanese text, which is pretty much negligible. And I mean, personally, like world record runs in English, I run in English. It's just a lot easier. Most of the time, though, you're going to get time saved by running in Japanese or like another language. I mean, Wind Waker HD runs in Italian just because it turned out that it was the fastest. Yeah. Twilight Princess SD runs on German because there was one text box that was misprogrammed and you saved 6 seconds. But in SD, it's a lot more optimized and they need that 6 seconds. Yeah, German is faster on SD. But English is 6 seconds slower than Japanese on HD, and we just run on English because it makes it a little bit easier.
Can you not run on Japanese with a United States Wii U, or?
I'm honestly not sure.
I don't think you can. I'm not sure. Oh no, I think you can. I'm not. I don't know. It doesn't really matter.
I honestly have no idea, and that's a really good question. I think NTSC-J. I'm not sure if they differentiated with the Wii U. I know the Wii they did.
Yeah, they did.
Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of a skip here.
Oh, yes.
Claw shot this P-hat, line up with the big crack in the wall, wait for the wind to blow, and slash my sword. And this skips a cutscene and keeps our spawn flag at that chest we just opened. So when we save warp after the mini-boss, we end up at that chest instead of the beginning of the temple like you normally would. So we save time skipping the cutscene and a little bit of time running back. Sorry, Ian. I did not mean to.
No, that's okay. It's only like so already we're saving like 3 to 4 minutes over like a casual playthrough in this dungeon. There's a lot of small things like that save up. Also, like we were talking about earlier, we have the gate skip from Lakebed and or the gate unloading. I don't know. It's
preloaded into memory. That is correct.
right. So the gate will actually be unloaded and sitting in the sky. So there's just like so many things that like I don't know. Over a casual playthrough, you probably save at least like 8 minutes in this small dungeon.
Like overdoing the entire temple?
Yeah.
Oh man, dude, we probably saved 20 or 25.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
This is a pretty big temple, and I remember having so many problems with it casually. Like there are a lot of rooms. But yeah, because we did like fan skip and gate unloading, we can just we skip probably 70% of the rooms in this entire temple.
Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah, it's pretty big.
So, Like a Pause had a question. They said, in this run, I've been seeing text boxes that look similar to Ocarina of Time's 3D's instant text boxes. Is that a trick, or is the HD version just like that?
I believe it's just the HD version being like that. I have no idea about anything in Ocarina of Time 3D. Forgive me, I'm uncultured, like I said. I honestly have no idea.
I think the text matching in OT3D is weird, but yeah, that's just the way HD text is. It just happens to go really fast. Most of it is quick text.
By the way, guys, I just wanted to give a reminder. We did currently hit the $5,000 donation incentive, which is anyone who donates during this run has a chance to win a free Legend of Zelda game of their choice. But you have to donate in order to be considered for it. So we have about an hour left in the run. That's plenty of time to find $5, $10, $50, maybe more if you want to spare that. You know, get yourself in the running, dude. And get your favorite Zelda games. Some of them go for like 150 bucks.
So I'm gonna go for a pixel perfect trick here called Aerialfo Skip.
Oh no. Okay.
It is really difficult and it doesn't happen. I actually had it happen in practice right before this run, but yeah, we're not getting it today. Oh. No, we're not getting it. That's okay.
Oh, that sucks.
That's okay.
So, yeah, that trick is really hard. ST runners do it a lot. ST is in standard definition. When I say ST, I'm talking about the GameCube version. But it's way more consistent on that version of the game. Like, World Record doesn't even go for aerial full skip. Like, it's that hard on HD, so...
I think in all my runs, I've maybe only gotten it, like, 5 to 10 times in runs.
It's really hard.
It is a pixel perfect trick, and, like, there has got to be some element of, like, sub-pixel RNG or something, because you can set it up the same every time and just not get it.
Yeah.
And there is actually a... Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
I was just going to say there is a strategy to kill this Aerialphos with the ball and chain, but it is tedious, and I have not gotten practice yet. Got to practice more.
Nice.
Yeah, so Aerialphos Skip lets us skip killing the mini-boss, claw shot that target that just showed in the cutscene, and get the double claw shots, and save and warp out without actually having to kill the boss. It's just faster.
It's really hard. Alright, cool. So...
We got another claw shot.
Since you skipped that cutscene, you can spawn where you open that small key chest, like, all the way on the other side of the dungeon, which is really good, because that's exactly where he wants to go, so...
It is exactly where I want to go. And again, I'm using the amiibo to quick load the file. Perfect. Okay, we're going to grab the boss key and go kill Argarok. One dragon good boy, even though he tries to kill us.
So he's going to go right back to the main area of the room. Now, he doesn't have to do the cutscene skip again, because once you have double claw shots, I believe it's double claw shots that sets the flag, but you no longer have to worry about the cutscene
that is correct.
Triggering. Right, so, okay, awesome. But yeah, so he doesn't have to worry about skipping the cutscene anymore, so all is well.
Good stuff. And because we did the fan skip earlier, where we transformed into Wolf and opened that door kind of carefully, I can head straight up through the roof and grab the boss key nice and easy. Whereas before you'd have to kind of navigate through the temple, do all the puzzles, and it's just way too slow for a speedrun. Is there any reason why I chose Twilight Princess for speedrunning? That's a great question too, Keith. Twilight Princess is my favorite video game of all time. It's been my favorite game since I was 12 years old. And after playing it casually so many times, it's just like I would dread certain parts, so I was... I don't know, kind of hesitant to play it. And then the speedrunning, learning the speedrun and everything like that, just kind of breathes new life into your favorite old games, because you have a goal to work towards, which kind of helps, but also, like, you can skip a lot of the parts you dread sometimes. I just failed that LJA. Wow.
Oh no, did you really? Oh.
I have not failed that LJA. I'm not even joking in probably 6 months.
Okay, did you should aim, do you know how like aim higher, like above the ground?
Oh yeah, no, I definitely know how to do it.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, we should just reset, start over.
Yeah, reset the run, reset. I'm just kind of surprised. I literally have not failed that in a very, very long time.
I don't mean like, I'm not like asking you if you know how to do it, like obviously you know how to do it.
Yes.
But, like,
yeah, you can
know what I'm
aim
talking
above
about?
that and not
Yeah.
have to target.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's slower though, so.
It might be quicker. I don't know.
I was
I
always
just do
super
it
bad
for
at that
safety.
trick.
Yeah, definitely F's in chat for that one. That is
I don't know if this is already answered, but Titus asks, is there any other game you have considered speedrunning?
that is an excellent question as well. Before they found debug menu in Majora's Mask, I was thinking about running Majora's Mask any %, but the debug menu kind of killed that for me. What that means is they use a trick called arbitrary code execution and its resulting glitch, text overflow, to bring up a developer's debug menu in the Majora's Mask game, give themselves the boss remains and the masks they need, and then head straight to the moon. Whereas before it was like a highly skilled, like frame perfect, you're doing all these insane tricks and skips to go through all 4 dungeons. Like it was a beautiful run before, and it just kind of got neutered
Awful.
a little bit.
Yeah. It sucks too. That was such a good run, man.
Yeah, Ian used to run Majora's Mask any % for a little bit there, and it is so cool to watch, but they killed it.
Speaking of so cool to watch, that skip was really something.
I was
Oh,
like,
the LJA fan skip, yeah, it's one of those ones that it looks a lot harder than it actually is.
it's like talking casually about, you know, it was so cool, as he just leaps 50 miles across the sky.
I guess sometimes I forget, like it becomes so commonplace to do these tricks because it's just part of the run that, like, I guess if you've never seen it before, that's pretty cool. So yeah, what that does is lets me skip turning on the fans, and it's just faster to get across those fans by not turning them on. The ascent room, like this is more Monka-esque than those fans outside right here. Like I just
actually is.
Optimize my movement to get to the top and not miss any fan cycles.
The movement here is really kind of hard and punishing if you miss it.
Yeah, if we miss one of these fan turns, I'm sitting here for like at least 30 seconds. But we got it. Good stuff.
Nice. Alright, so it's time for Argrok, which I think is arguably one of the hardest bosses in the speedrun.
If you're doing Flame 3 skip, it can be very tedious, but Flame 3 skip is a little bit out of my price range right now. I'm gonna be working on that in the
Which one is Flame 3 skip? That's just the one of the final like phase, right?
Yeah, that's just the final cycle. The first 2 flame skip, like I'll explain it when we get there. It's a pretty cool fight. We're gonna try and manipulate Argarok as much as possible to save time. But you'll see that. We're also coming up to another cutscene where it's optimal P break time. Not quite there yet though.
Oh yes, I know what you're talking about.
The Argarok intro cutscene is the perfect pre-break.
I'll have to prep my second intermission song.
Perfect.
Oh, please do.
Because unfortunately, I have a child-sized bladder, so you know, lots
Chat,
of pre-breaks.
chat, what should I sing about? Put your suggestions.
So yeah, we do the first phase cycle here. As soon as Argarok gets over, yeah. Fun fact: if you claw shot that tail on the first frame, you will soft lock the game.
What do they call that? Isn't there a name for that?
Ooh, I think there is, but I do not remember it.
I don't remember. What is it called?
It's just like a soft lock of some sort. But you fly around on Argarok's tail, and like you have to reset your game.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal.
Okay, enjoy the cutscene. I am going to go. I'll be back. Take it away.
There was a time when I had to take out the trash, and I don't mean my taste in comedy acts. As I took the bag to bring it out to the curb, that's when the bag broke. I got the broken trash bag blues. There was seafood a week old or more. Some free hot dogs I managed to score. Now they all sit on the road in front.
What did I miss?
That's the trash bag blues.
Singing. Ooh.
He was serenading us.
Ah, the serenade of the Sky Temple.
We have some applause.
I gotta
in the
say
chat.
though, the lyrics were garbage.
It happens. So we're actually going to take an intentional death right here because it saves 3 seconds over like climbing the pillar and waiting. And sometimes it's just faster to die, you know. Just faster.
Runs over, dude.
Just speedrunning things.
Honestly, I'm gonna be completely real with you. I don't remember at all how this fight works. Like, I know how it works, but I don't know, like, what you do.
So I stand on the pillar, wait for the audio cue, he roars, and then I sit on the P-hat right here until I get the camera pan, and we just did flame 1 skip. That was good. And we're gonna do the same thing again for the second flame. And then flame 3, I believe you claw like 4 like flame 3,
yep,
I
you go
don't know
4
how
and
to
then
do it
1.
right.
Yeah, you go 4, you put on iron boots. Yeah, I remember now. It's so hard to remember because, like, it's really precise for all the flame skips, but, so what he's doing... Oh, go ahead. You're good.
Well, I was just going to say, I'm going to be working on an optimization route in the next couple weeks here, where I go work on all these little tricks and, like, small time saves I haven't done in the past, just because I haven't done them. So yeah, audio cue, grab the P-hat, wait for the camera to pan, don't anticipate, wait, react, perfect. Flame 2 skip is good, and go ahead, Ian.
Yeah, so it's just a bunch of optimal movement. That way he gets the dragon to stop breathing fire and he can get onto the back easier. You're not going for flame 3 skip?
I mean, like, I'll try it, I don't know how to do it 100%.
Oh, okay. Well, you don't have to if you don't want to, I mean.
Well, no, I mean, I always kind of go for it and hope for the best,
Yeah.
but I don't think I think I've gotten it once, and it was fluke.
That is all you. You got this.
And it starts on 0. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Wait until it passes the 3rd completely, and then put on iron boots, I think.
No, I went to 1 too many.
Oh. That's okay.
Yeah, that's okay. Flame 3 skip is, it'll be happening in the next couple weeks.
It's definitely tricky. I remember having a hard time with it when I was learning it.
And that's the city in the sky.
Nice.
If there's any donations or anything like that, now would be a perfect time while we watch this unskippable cutscene. Can't skip it.
What? Our man JD donated $3.89, saying, "Let's get ourselves back to whole numbers, shall we?" And indeed, it did bring us to $5,120. Great job to all our runners, hosts, and behind-the-scenes team. Thank you very much for your donation. I do see we have 148 people watching this right now. If each one of those people watching took a moment to donate $5 or $5 more, we would be, let me see, less than $200 away from the $6,000 prize incentive. $5 per person. It's not very much. But we appreciate your donation. Thank you, JD.
So I'm gonna grab this heart container here just for safety because the Palace of Toilet is very unforgiving. And that's where we're headed next. The Palace of Toilet. Toilet. I'm just saying toilet.
Twilight.
We got all parts of the mirror. We have enough parts of the mirror, meow. Yeah, so the game only checks if you have the 4th mirror shard, but we have to complete Arbiter's Grounds because we actually need access to the mirror chamber. So yeah, we get the 1st and the 4th, and we're good to go. That is enough. Yeah, Palace of Toilet is pretty... What makes the Palace of Toilet the worst for dungeon running? That is a great question, Titus. It is non-sequence broke, so we actually have to do most of the temple, whereas in all the other ones we have some sort of skips or like time saves. So it's all based on movement. There is enemy RNG, and there is just a lot of really complicated tech to kind of do rooms optimally.
Yeah.
Like right side first room it's a run killing room.
Yeah, that one's hard.
But if you do it perfectly, it looks so easy. You're like, oh, that's not bad at all. And then something goes wrong, and you're like, oh my god, I'm gonna die.
It's really it's almost something that's like non-understandable unless you do the run. It's I don't know. It's hard.
Yeah, Palace of Toilet is just it's hard. There's lots of movement optimizations, enemy optimizations. Oh, I could have skipped that cutscene, but I'm a bonehead. Yeah, left side's pretty free. Right side is the Monka S, and then the Ascent is... It's not as bad. The first sections of Palace of Toilet are the hard sections. To do well, anyway.
After you get Butter Sword, it's not too bad.
Exactly. Alright, let's do left side. The good warm-up side, I like to think of it as.
Also, like I was saying previously, you really should go in here with a lot of hearts. I think world record gets at least 5 hearts.
4 or 5 for sure. When Demon had world record, he did the entire game with 3 hearts.
Really?
Yeah, he is
Did
nuts
he
on the
really?
time save. Yeah.
I never knew that. That's crazy. That man is insane. I did not know that.
Swedish speedrunners, man.
Dude, they're crazy.
They are.
The Swedes, dude.
Yeah, a lot of the top Zelda speedrunners are actually from Sweden. That's why we kind of joke about it. Except for Ian. Ian's what? You're American, right, Ian?
Yeah, American.
Ian actually holds the world record for Wind Waker HD any percent. So if you haven't checked that out, definitely take a look at that run. There is some crazy speedrunning tech used.
Oh,
it
thanks, man.
is fantastic to watch.
I appreciate it, dude.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's a specific way to kill the Zant heads here. So what he's gonna do is you have to be running towards the Zant head and then do a jump attack, and that's gonna hit the Zant head twice, and then hit it with a Menda charge, and that'll kill it.
You actually run and then do a B attack.
Oh, really? Oh, dude. I've been playing
all
this so
good.
long. But yeah, so run towards it, B attack, and then do a Menda charge. And that's the fastest way to kill those guys as Wolf. You're gonna be seeing that a lot.
Yeah, we do have to kill a few Zant heads. It gets a lot easier once we get the Butter Sword, but up until then it's
Yep.
pretty slow. Yeah, Butter Sword one hits anything in the Toilet Realm except for Zant.
The toilet film. So for this specific fight, the way he does the fight, I don't remember. It's like you...
If I don't finish my attack combo and attack Zant or the puppet Zant in a certain way, he will be vulnerable. Like normally, after you attack him, he like jumps around and it's really slow. But if you attack him in a certain way here, 1/2 quick spins, and we do that 4 times.
Right. Okay.
He got a cast off, which is really bad and slow.
That's definitely
Kind
not
of have to
ideal.
work
But...
around the Deku Babas here. And I got the extra hit there, so now he's going to jump around. That is unfortunate. Unfortunate. That happens. Puppet Zants are tough fights.
Yeah, these are really hard fights. A lot of runners go off of audio cues, but like even going off of audio cues, like it's still so hard because like you really can't tell where he spawns, and you have to get to him really fast, or otherwise he spawns enemies. And
Yeah, it's a tough fight for sure. That wasn't too bad. Not great, but not bad.
this is a fight that can definitely go wrong very quickly.
Absolutely, it can. Especially like we saw there how he got the cast off for the Deku Babas.
Mhm.
If he does that, like Deku Babas are honestly the worst. Everything else you can usually get with a quick spin. But luckily we didn't hit him in a bad pattern, so he didn't jump around for too long. But you can do that if you miss the interrupt swing, where you interrupt him like casting the spells. You can end up with like 3 or 4 phases of that, and it's just really slow and not good.
Yeah.
And everybody, of course, if you've played this game, remembers the anxiety-inducing hands that will be following us through the entire section here carrying the orbs. As if it wasn't stressful enough carrying the orbs.
Yep.
So we have small little kind of optimizations we can do here. Like if I Kobe this orb, hopefully it'll hit. There we go, good throw. We can stand on the pillar, let it raise, and skip some movement. Just small optimizations like that are what we're hoping for in the Palace of Toilet, but other than that, it is pretty straightforward and casual.
Yeah, it's actually yeah, it's pretty straightforward.
I mean, unlike Forest Temple where, we LJA to skip half the temple, like this one we
Right.
unfortunately have to do all of.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy how there's no big sequence break.
If somehow you could like set the flag for Butter Sword without getting these orbs, like that would be amazing. There was
Yeah.
actually an April Fool's joke in the Twilight Princess HD community this year where they're like, oh, you do this step, and it was just some guy fumbling the ball around on the platform for 5 minutes, and then he like cuts the feed and then comes back and it's like, oh, you got the sword. And we're like, oh my god, dude.
I feel like this is the first video game instance of the companion cube. That's the feeling I'm getting from this right
The
now.
companion orb. Well, we have the companion Midna, and that's good stuff. Yeah, it's just because of the flag's keep.
Chad already with the orb.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with orbs.
So, in terms of movement, you just saw that he did a long jump attack over the gap instead of standing on the platform. That's one of those examples of just faster movement, and he does that a lot through Palace.
This is the biggest Monka-S move or Monka-S room in the entire run right
Yeah,
here.
this room is really hard.
And we got the good spawn. Let's hope we can make it there in time.
Everything about this room sucks.
Oh, we got ideal. Perfect.
Nice.
That is. See, it looked easy, but like, trust me, that is the best that room can go. Holy cow. Ooh, I'm sweating. That is a scary room. Like, I have lost, I'm not even kidding you, probably 20 runs in this room.
I believe it.
Even after practicing it. Like, it's just, oh. That was good, though. I'll take that any day of the week. Excellent.
Yeah, this fog is really annoying in Palace. So essentially when you walk into that fog, you're forced transformed into a wolf. And it just makes everything super annoying to get around, but
Got the proper order.
nice.
Good stuff.
It's clean.
Not bad.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
really
this
good.
is
That was a good room.
Definitely one of the toughest rooms. We didn't get the claw target. Just a little bit slow. If we do it fast enough, I can actually end up on this target during the cutscene. But it was a little bit slow. That's okay.
Still good. Do you do the LJA here after getting the chest?
I don't. I've only done that LJA successfully
really?
once. Yeah, again, I have to do a double pass through on this and do an optimization route.
Yeah.
But I actually just claw the target.
It's kind of hard, dude. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, okay. That's not even that much slower. I can't imagine that losing more than like 4 or 5 seconds.
If that.
Yeah, really.
Because, I mean, you have to line up for the LJA anyway. Yeah, it's just an alternative strat.
Yeah. I didn't even know you could claw shot. If I knew that, I would have been going for that when I did rounds of this.
Simi told me that 3 weeks ago. He's like,
Oh,
yeah, you
really?
can just claw that. We do that in TP Wii. And I was like, what? And I tried it, and I was like, oh my god.
That's sick.
Like, before I just jumped down and wasted the time, and it was like, oh, that's so much easier. I just got that cast off, so that was really bad. Oh, maybe he didn't.
No, I don't think it spawned enemies. I think that was just the doesn't he have it like a normal one where he doesn't spawn in enemies?
Where
I
is
don't
he?
know, I could be wrong.
Okay, that was a really decent fight. A little bit sloppy on the movement, but we got all the phases down before he started jumping around. So that's good
Oh,
stuff.
yeah, that wasn't bad either. That was a really good wing.
Yeah,
So far,
actually,
at least.
for Skuru doing a right side, that was a decent right side. But I mean, it's not over, of course. We got to go back now. Wait, we can't skip that? Oh, I'm kidding.
It'd be really awesome if those big hands just like came and gave you a giant bro fist.
I mean, it would be more of a Link splat than a bro fist, I'm thinking. That's not too bad. Let's go. What is the fog composed of, Titus? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the shadow crystals. Just like in a cutscene that we skipped, Zant stuffs the shadow crystal into Link's forehead, and that's why we do Midna's Desperate Hour to go get the Master Sword to get that crystal out. And that's actually what lets us transform to Wolf in lore, anyway. Good stuff. That's a Kobe. Oh, I got weird camera right now. Am I far enough forward? I am. Good stuff. Yeah, normally during stream, my doggo would be waking up and bothering me, but he's actually being house sat or pet sat by my cousin today for this event. Yeah, if you like Malamute puppies, definitely check out this stream. We have a good time. Like when he steals my toilet paper.
That video was so funny. You were like, Rocket, get back here! Oh my god, this shit was hilarious.
He just wants to play. He's a good
He's
boy
so
when he
cute,
wants
too.
to be. Oh my god, if he wasn't so cute, I would have yeeted him out the door weeks ago.
Yeah, he's adorable.
Okay, that actually was a really good right side. In a speed run, I would have been very happy with that. Well, I mean, this is a speed run, but like in a PB attempt.
Yeah.
So I actually buffer that throw there, so I can roll to the platform and just claw shot the orb. Thank you.
Yeah, that's one of those things where in the GameCube version you actually have to mash since you can't do a buffer, but in HD you can, so it's really nice. Just a small movement optimization. So it saves a few seconds. Alright, so now he's gonna get the butter sword.
Everything's better with butter.
Yeah. He's gonna be able to one-shot pretty much everything now, so. Except for Zant.
Except for Zant, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Alright, let's do the rest of the temple. So that we kind of got the worst part of Palace of Toilet out of the way. Now we're kind of just finishing it out. There are a couple of scent rooms where you have to time platforms and stuff like that, but it shouldn't be too bad. Assuming I can quick spin. I can't believe it's not butter. Butter.
I gotta be honest with you, with a casual, like through a casual playthrough, this is probably my favorite part. Like after getting the butter sword and like going up to Zant.
Really?
I think so, yeah.
Dude, I don't know. Even casually, I dreaded
Really?
the palace.
Damn, even casually, that's crazy.
Even casually, yeah. I just was like, oh, I gotta do the get off of me, Deku Baba.
Yeah, I wish this was how you like mowed lawns, is you just took a sword and waved it at the grass and it flew away because it was scared of the blade.
That would be so nice. I grew up out in the boonies with a lot of lawns and a push mower, and there was a lot of lawns and it was a push mower.
I feel like...
Oh, go ahead.
No, you're good.
I was just gonna say, and then of course after I moved out, my dad got a like brand new Ride-On mower.
Back in my day, we had to mow our lawns through 20 feet of snow.
Exactly. Oh, actually, in Canada here, I do shovel a lot of snow. Shoveling snow is actually, I think we were talking about worst chores earlier. I think shoveling snow is worse than grocery shopping.
Shoveling snow is pretty bad. I miss snow though. I don't really get snow where I am too much.
Shoveling snow just makes you sore. Shoveling ice is where the real pain is.
Oh, yeah.
Well, if you shovel it while it's snow, you won't have to shovel ice.
That's true. This is true. Do you do the LJA here? Please tell me you don't.
No, I do not. It is.
Okay,
it
good.
is
It's
way
so
too
stupid.
It's scary, dude. It's scary.
It saves like
It
1
saves
second.
like 1 second. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. It's so bad.
I can take that 1 second time loss.
I always failed this when I did runs. I'm like, nah, I'm not doing it.
Did you do
anymore.
the LJA on the terrace out here to get to these?
Oh, yeah.
Oh
yeah.
my god, dude, no way.
You don't do it, really?
No. I mean, like, I'll probably practice it when I do my optimization route, but like, oh my god, dude, it's so scary.
It's not too bad. It's probably only scary because you're worried, but you'll get used to it really fast.
Yeah. Normally, you just be able to like target through your boomerang like we did kind of outside, but because there's that ground down there, you can't do a traditional LJA. You have to actually do an out of bounds LJA on the wall beside the platform. Like, it's sketchy.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna take the 2 second time loss and walk over here like normal people.
Yeah, it's not too big of a deal.
Now, the kind of tricky trick, well, it's not even really a trick, but it can be tricky to get this claw target here. Okay, that actually went really well. I'll take that.
Oh, you got it? Nice. So, there's a lot of other hookshot targets you have to hit, but if you are fast enough, you can hit the one at the top, and that way you can get to the boss key, like, really fast. Do you want me to talk about the platform cycle in the next room, or?
Yeah, sure.
Once we get there? Okay, cool.
I mean, I'm gonna go for it, so hopefully we can get it.
Yeah, it's pretty hard.
The ball midair, I've never seen that.
Oh! I don't think I've ever seen that either. That's crazy.
+1 to the counter.
Yeah, 3 things we've never seen before.
Good thing we still have a safety fairy. That's all I'm gonna say. Do I ever consider doing 100% TP runs, Titus? That's a good question. 100% in Twilight Princess is a lot, like it's very difficult because you have no way to trigger the day-night cycles. So if you miss a day-night cycle and you have to wait for a full soul, which only come out at night, like you are losing so much time. 100% for me is just not something that I'm interested in running at this moment in time. That's a great question though.
So okay, he's going to this room now. The platforms are on a cycle. His movement has to be pretty clean in order to make this platform cycle. If he doesn't make it, he'll lose 15 seconds, I think. So he's going to... Oh, he's going to buffer here. I don't know what buffering does because I never did it personally. I always used a timing method here, but buffering, I believe, makes it a little bit more lenient. When you
little bit more lenient.
Yeah, when you pull up the menu text, the platforms stop, which will help him make it to the platform cycle in time. He's going to do some LJAs, I think, or maybe not. No, you're not doing LJAs? Okay. So he just has to have pretty clean movement then if he's not doing LJAs. It looks like, I mean, if you're mid-num buffering, you probably can make this without an LJA pretty easily, I think.
I don't think I've ever made early platform. I go for
really?
it, but I don't think I've ever made it.
Okay. Yeah,
I should have LJA'd here, yeah.
Yeah, if you learn the LJ, I don't do the one here. I used to do the one, like the first one. If you learn that one and get comfortable with it, it should be pretty easy.
We just missed the platform.
Damn.
That's okay.
All right. No big deal.
That's kind of anticipated. That's a really tough movement, and I kind of missed the first quick spin there.
It's pretty hard to do that. This is a hard room.
Hard room to do well.
Yeah, for sure. I guess something to mention is we're like right outside the Zant. But Zant has 6 phases. I just love Zant as a villain and a boss. The way his boss is like structured in this game, like the way the boss fight is just really.
Zant is insane.
Yeah, I love it.
He's literally insane, and it's great.
Yeah, and like the storyline, like just like his character, everything about Zant is just perfect. Mwah, mwah. Amazing.
He's like, mwah, mwah.
It's just so good.
Oh man, now you got me thinking about pasta and I'm hungry. Which reminds me, I actually have to go grocery shopping. Thank you.
Sure thing.
Okay, so fun fact. You can actually release the B attack when you hear him pop, and then kill the messengerks that are following.
That's a really cool strat. I love that cue.
Ideally, you want to kill them on the same frame to reduce lag frames. Because like if it's staggered, it's like dur, 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 and you lose time like that. You kind of saw there was a little bit of lag frames there.
Nice.
Not bad though.
Good fights. Do you want to get hearts? Did they drop any hearts?
They did, but I'll be fine. Zant isn't damage heavy boss.
It's not too bad. Yeah, I'm sure you'll be fine.
If I'm not, I have a safety fairy.
I love how many little optimizations there are across this game that come together to make a huge, huge difference.
That's like all Zelda games are like that.
Especially in a run that's 3.5 hours long, you know.
Very true.
So Zant's the whole boss style around Zant is that he mimics bosses that he did previously in the run, and I believe in TPHD there's 2 boss fights. No, there's 3 boss fights that are that mimic what you do in the speedrun. The first, the third, and the 4th. Wait, what's the 4th one?
4th, I believe, is Blizzard.
Oh, yeah, Ook. No, 4th is Ook. Wait, I don't know. It doesn't matter. I'm so confused. Anyway, there's Ook, Dai Baba, and the Malika boss that he mimics. So it's very like, you know, obviously.
Goron Mines.
Yeah, Goron Mines, right. But we don't do the Goron Mines mini boss or anything in Goron Mines in the speedrun. Yeah, for the first phase, you want to pull out Boomerang. And what weapon you want to use to defeat him depends on what dungeon he represents, if that makes sense.
Like here, you'd normally use the Iron Boots, but you can get away with just like rolling.
Yeah. Are you gonna go for the 1 cycle? Oh, it's so hard.
I'm gonna go for it.
Alright, you got this.
I got it.
Nice!
Cycle. Good stuff. That's a little bit of a bonus. It's very tough, timing-based.
It's really hard.
But we got it, which is really cool.
Yeah, that's sick. That's a really hard 1 cycle. Alright, this is the Lakewood boss, so guess what you want to use? You want to use
Iron
boots and claw shots.
And we're actually not going to change out of the Zora tunic for the rest of the run. Because it's slow.
Yeah. Something to mention is the way this specific part of the fight works is that I believe his position depends on where you are when the Zant heads rise for their second cycle.
It is he will spawn in the one furthest away from you, so I can manipulate where he's gonna spawn just by just by sitting over here. Like, we'll see the Zant heads come up. One should be right underneath me, and if I'm in the right spot when the nose comes out of the water, he should spawn in this one directly across. Of course, my calculations could be incorrect because I'm not in Dorothy Ann, so hopefully we got it. Yeah, see, I was wrong.
Oh, you were?
Yep.
Was it to your right?
Yeah, I must have just been not quite in the right position.
Yeah,
that's okay.
That's okay.
It's only like 4 or 5 seconds. So now we have the Ook phase. I'm gonna equip over my iron boots with ball and chain, because I can actually do a quick strat here with ball and chain. You'll kind of see if it works out here.
This strat is so sick. I love it. It's really like 200 IQ, I'm not gonna lie.
So I just knock him off the pillar with my ball and chain, and then I actually have my equip set for the next phase too.
So, we were talking about how you need the ball and chain for the Zant fight. This is literally the only part of the fight that you need the ball and chain for. If you didn't need the ball and chain for this part of the fight,
we would not have to go to Snow Peak or anything.
It would be a lot faster. Like maybe 20 minutes, if not more. Kinda sucks, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Good stuff. And I get some safety hearts here, just because.
I'm not gonna lie though, this part of the fight is actually kind of sick, so I don't mind getting the ball and chain for it.
No, absolutely. The Blazetta phase, casually, like, is such a cool fight. Like,
Yeah.
great music, great design. It's too bad we don't do it in the speedrun.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
mean, it's kind of nice because it's slow, but, like...
Do you think you'd ever do all dungeons?
Maybe. I might run all dungeons someday.
Yeah.
I'm definitely focusing on 80% just to get my goal time, but all dungeons could be on the plate.
Yeah, I got you. That's cool. Sixth
That was
phase
early.
is hard. So essentially what he wants to do is he wants to hit Zant 3 times, but he only needs to hit Zant with the final hit of his sword combo. It's really awkward and it's hard to do just right, but essentially he just has to do it 3 times.
Yeah, I actually biffed the first hit. So I'm looking right after the cutscene. As soon as the right pillar hits the ground, I mash my B button, but I just missed that one. It's a little bit early. I anticipated instead of reacted. And
Yeah.
you find out a lot of time in speedrunning, if you anticipate instead of react, things don't go right.
Yeah, that's the case.
We recovered though. Not too bad.
Nice. Alright, good backup. Good backup.
And we're off to Hyrule Castle.
That is the Palace of Toilets.
That was the Palace of Toilet. The longest dungeon in the speedrun. Because we have to do all of it.
That was a really awesome dungeon run, though, and boss fight.
Yeah, that Zant fight actually didn't go too bad, except for that one misclick in final phase, and me biffing my hookshot right there. Oops.
Yeah, those first 5 phases were super clean.
And I'm grabbing the heart for safety, because Hyrule Castle is a can be kind of monk ass.
It can be, yeah, for
We have
sure.
to blow ourselves up a lot.
The Ganondorf fight, I'm not gonna lie, man. The Ganondorf fight, now that I think about it, is RNG heavy. Not only RNG heavy, but it's quite hard to do optimally. The second and third phase of the Ganondorf fight is quite hard. So
Horseback for sure. Beast is not too bad, and Final is free. I love Final Phase.
final phase is fun. Beast, I always, you know what happens is that like if you don't hit him right away,
Yeah, exactly.
you end up on his back. And it's like, oh my god, and you feel
That's
like
the
circle
worst.
around. Yeah.
Hopefully
why I
we
say-
don't.
That's
I
why I
was just
say
gonna
Beast is the hardest.
Yeah. I think
Not the
Horseback
hardest.
for me.
Not the hardest, but you know what I mean. Like that's why I hope it's one of the hardest.
Yeah.
Not-
Hopefully I can not choke it. Okay, so we're gonna do a mailman skip with an LJA here, because we won't be running through any of his triggers throughout the map anymore. This is the last one we can skip with no remorse. Good stuff, and we're on our way. So that's using the out of bounds LJA style. So remember I talked about in the beginning there was the 3 criteria for an LJA. That one was out of bounds. As soon as it goes over the bridge railing, it's out of bounds, and we can get the LJA.
Oh, it's time for Squidna, my favorite.
Ooh, it is indeed time for Squidna. This is a good cutscene. If you have to go pee, now is the time. I don't have to pee this time.
So the storyline behind this is that you beat everybody, you beat all the bad guys, and you're like, it's time to go to Ganondorf, right? And then Minda gets really mad and she turns into this giant very aggressive squid. And
Very aggressive.
Yes, and she attacks the pyramid with a spear that she formed with her hand. That's the
Wait, so
story
is she-
right there.
Is she a squid or a kid?
She's
Squid.
a Twilight monster beast who turns into a squid.
She's technically. Oh, I don't want to spoil it. Actually, are we able to watch credits, or is that just dependent on time?
I'm pretty sure that we can watch the credits. We'll let you know if that changes.
Okay, no worries. I won't spoil the ending then.
Yeah, we gotta do Iron Boots for the credits.
I will. You gotta remind me. You gotta
Yeah.
like consistently remind me through horseback and final.
Do you want to do fishing for the fans or no?
Nah, we won't do fishing. We'll do Iron Boots.
Okay, cool.
So
Sounds
what-
good.
So what you're saying is during the final phase, the chat should just spam Iron Boots, Iron Boots.
Yes,
Well,
please.
considering the final phase will last 15 seconds, yeah, that's a good idea. There's no way that we could possibly forget in a 15-second time span.
Yeah, the final phase
Second
goes
to
pretty
last
quick if you know what you're doing. Okay, it is time for some Hyrule Castle. Ideally, we'll get both barrier skips, not Void in the block room, get a fast Dark Nut, fast Aerialphos, and get up to the top. Let's go. This is a really fun dungeon.
Everything about Hyrule Castle can be a little bit tricky, but he was actually mentioning barrier skips, and I'll elaborate more on them as he goes up to them. The first one's easy. Second one's a little bit more precise. If you miss the barrier skips, you have to fight all the enemies that are thrown at you, and it's pretty slow. So hopefully he learns the 2 barrier skips.
Arguably not as cool as Wind Waker's barrier skip, but still pretty cool.
Oh, well, certainly not, but still pretty good.
All right, let's do this. Nice and clean. Get your brooms out. Hyrule Castle's actually a really fun dungeon to run through. There's lots of neat movement tech, like not so many LJAs or things like that, but you have a lot of fights that you can kind of optimize and do well, and we're just gonna blow these guys up here. Boom, smell you later.
Literally the strat for this fight is you just place a bomb. That's it. There you go. Alright, so this first barrier skip's coming up. Really easy. He's gonna essentially walk off to the side and skip the cutscene before the barrier forms. I don't know. This just seems like...
I did barrier skip.
Oh, did you? Oh, okay, good. Come on, guys. It just seems like it's one of those things that's like, how do you... I don't know. It seems like such a weird... Like, how do the developers let this one slide kind of thing, but...
It's like if you skip the cutscene fast enough, you can buffer an input and get out of the way of the barrier.
Yeah, it's like so weird.
So this is King Bublin 4 fight. Again, if you telegraph and time right, he's pretty free. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're gonna back up for a swing and a miss. Big ol' swing and a miss, and then jump spin again. 2. And now he does his blocks.
Counting with Skuro feels good, man.
Dude, counting to 4 is honestly the bane of my existence in this speedrun.
You don't like counting? You shouldn't run one with your SD then.
Yeah, no doubt, hey. 78, 79, 780.
Oh my god, I remember Jim's first barrier skip run. He just pulled grappling hook 3,000 times and counted to 3,000.
Oh my goodness. Dude, I don't even think I could count to 3,000. Like, that is a skill. So I'm actually going to buffer an input here out of the cutscene. Backflip.
Great.
And if I save warp during the backflip, I can skip a mid in a text box, and it's like, I don't know, 4 seconds faster or something. So I just got to wait here. I only have, I don't know, 8 or 10 frames during the backflip to save warp here. Good stuff. Rivali.
Nice. So your last save before that was City in the Sky still, huh?
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we save as minimal as possible because, of course, it's just time.
Yeah. It's like an hour worth of gameplay. I'm so used to like shorter runs where like you save every like 5 minutes.
So if you'll notice, like sometimes my movement sucks, it's because I'm looking down at my gamepad to equip items. So don't equip and drive, kids.
Don't equip and drive. Okay, so this barrier skip coming up, he has to do a pretty precise jump slash, and he has to skip the cutscene before the barrier spawns, and he can just walk right past it. And that skips again, fighting a bunch of enemies. It loses a lot of time to miss. So,
Yeah, it's like a minute of time loss if you miss it, and that's if the fights go optimally.
yeah, that's easily a minute. So it's a good thing he got both of those barrier skips. That's not the only thing that can go wrong, but definitely it's one of the bigger things that can go wrong. So it's a good
Yeah,
thing.
getting both barrier skips, it's like this is decent. Like we're looking okay right now.
Is there a ball and chain strat for this guy? I remember there was.
Probably, but I just do the slash. If you just time slashes right, you can do, what is it, like 7 and then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 8 and then 3.
Nice. Ooh,
That was a decent fight.
nice.
Don't know why I took out my lantern. Whoops.
Good stuff. You want just to light the area more. I got you, Skuro.
Yeah, exactly. Excuse me?
Alright.
I missed the torch here. There we go. Okay, a little bit slow, but that's not bad.
A lot of the stuff is pretty simple. Like, he's gonna light the lanterns in a certain way. Unlock the door.
Oh my god, Ian, I did a D-Rust run like last month after, I think I took 10 days off because that was when I went and picked up my dog. So I had like I took 10 days off. I drove 1,700 kilometers or something like that with my sister and my friend. Went and picked up my dog, and then I came back and I actually forgot that torch order.
I've done that.
I was like,
before, too.
I spent like a minute sitting there. I was like, what am I doing?
That's funny.
It was pretty bad.
Oh, use bomb strats here. That's cool.
Oh, just missed him.
Oh, damn.
A little bit of time lost, but that's okay.
That's not too bad. That's fine. Alright, good.
So nice of
Alrighty.
them to just stand there and wait for it to explode.
Yeah, actually, if you place the bomb on the ground, they run away from them. But that if you hold it over your head for whatever reason, he's like, oh, he's blowing himself up. We'll go for that.
Aerofoils can be really tricky to kill.
Oh, he hit me as he was dying. What a jerk.
Oh, that's so weird. Did you take damage from that?
I believe I did.
That's crazy.
What a jerk. Yeah, if we have any donations, now's the perfect time. We're running and then a cutscene.
Unfortunately, we do not have any new donations in, so one final reminder, as soon as the run is over, once they call time, I will be pulling the winner of the raffle for the free Zelda game. And in addition, any other prizes we may win if we get up to the $6,000 incentive. But just so you know where your donations are going to, this has been Fastest Furs for Life 2019, benefiting the Children's Miracle Network hospitals through Extra Life. 100% of the funds collected through Extra Life will directly benefit one of over 170 Children's Miracle Network hospitals across the U.S. and Canada for such things, taking care of immediate needs facing local kids, whether it's patient programs, new equipment, charitable care. You can still make a donation, or if you want to learn more about how you can help, including joining the team if that interests you, you can click on the donate button below the stream window, or you can always type !donate in the chat.
Perfect. Thank you so much for that info. That's excellent. Come on, chat. We can do it. We can raise more money. I want to see at least 5,200 on by the time we get up to Zelda.
Skuro, I was doing a race with Torp one time, Skuro, and it was like we were so like neck and neck the entire time, but I ended up like being a minute ahead of Ganon's castle. Forgot the boss key. Ran all the way up to the door. Found out I didn't have the boss key, and I ran all the way back down and lost the race, dude.
You know, I'll pick it up. If we manage to hit 5,500 before time is called on the run, I'll cover the free game from anything that was run during this marathon. So
normally you'd have to turn into Wolf and like Spirit's Point the way over those puzzles, but if you're fast enough rolling, you can kind of just jump over the entire thing. It's very nice.
Alright, it's crunch time now.
Yeah, we are doing the final ascent up to the Ganon fights here. Good stuff. What is this? Area alpha skip? Come on. There it is.
We did get a $5 donation from Kitlock saying, let's end this stream on a dono train. Let's go!
Let's go! We got good spinner cycle. Oh, here's a fun skip you can do at home. No practice required. All you do is stand on the corner of this square, claw shot this torch, and skip the cutscene as you're in the air, and we just skip that fight. Nice and easy. You can do that one at home.
Skip. I love that skip. Alright, so we're going into the final fight. So, as I was talking about previously, not only is the Ganondorf fight RNG heavy, but it can also be hard. The first phase is entirely RNG. You want 7 cycles optimally, but it can be like 8, 9, 10. I think you can get like 14 even. The second fight, third fight are hard, and the fourth fight is really easy. And if chat can remember to spam Iron Boots during the final phase, that would be good.
Yes, because I will forget. Come on, Zelda.
We should do it during second phase just to be safe.
Second phase onwards.
This is a good start here. Good start, RNG.
So if he's gonna get a 7 cycle, it will most likely be the first, the third, and the 7th phase that will get the energy balls. And if that's the case, that's perfect RNG. Triangle is faster than the stab, or is it not? I don't know.
I don't know. I honestly don't know what's faster. I'm just like, I hope for a 7 cycle. Anything beyond that, I'm losing time. Yeah.
JD donating $5, saying hopping on the donation train. Come on, everyone, jump on! Choo choo!
This may be a good 7 cycle.
Yeah. So she has a minimum of 3 more attacks before she does another big ball, and the only way you can hurt cross-dressing Zelda, is with the big ball.
Something else to mention is that, like, during this phase, it's really easy. It's not like it's hard. It's just RNG based. So if you're like low on health, you can just like get all your health back with all the pots. So.
Come on, Zelda. Huck me a big ball. Not another triangle. We don't look at the triangle, because if you do, it actually causes lag frames.
Yeah. Oh, do you know the thing where you jump out of the triangle at the last second and like she laughs? Even
no, I didn't know
as
that.
if you got hit. Oh, I remember somebody showing off one time.
We got perfect 7 cycle. Let's go.
Alright.
Let's go.
TK donates $5 saying choo choo, and Ian Keith donates $7 saying donation train, adding some extra. Come on, let's go!
Okay, I need quiet for like 15 seconds here, just while I try and kill Beast here. Good stuff. Okay, I guess it was less than 15.
Nice. Alright.
2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We got all our hits, and that is excellent. To the corner!
This is second phase, chat. Start spamming those iron boots. Zudma donates $5. Great runs and a great cause. Hopping on the donation train. Oh, woo, woo!
I like the donation wolf train. That's pretty good. I like that.
Their official species is trainines.
2, 3.
Ow.
1, 2, 3. I didn't get all my hits in. Whoops.
That's okay.
Alright, this is going to be a little bit messy now. I missed time. What's up?
Oh, never mind. Never mind.
Maybe I did get all my hits in? I don't know.
Can you just turn to human again and finish as human?
Yeah, I will finish as human.
Yeah.
Ideally, you'd finish this fight as wolf because it's just a little bit faster. But you need the ideal, like 16 hits to do that. And
Right.
Didn't quite finish that second one off.
So
I'm gonna just safely do it as human.
It's nice that you don't lose that much time because of quick transforms, you know?
Good fight. Not bad at all.
$5 donation from Lord D. Bunnykin saying, going on to that Zelda game dono train, iron boots! P.S. As an Octopath speedrunner, I appreciate your talent, Sean. Thank you. But right now, we need to appreciate the talent of Skuru going into the home base. Let's go. Get those donations in.
This phase is hard. He has to start off moving a specific way in order for him to hope that Ganondorf will
give us
ahead of him. Yeah, essentially.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do here is 1, 2 spurs. I'll target charge my B attack. Hope that he doesn't hit me. And he hit me.
Oh, he did.
That was the worst RNG we could have got.
All right.
That happens.
No biggie.
All right, so this is gonna be a little bit slow no matter what. Get away from me.
That's unfortunate.
Come on, Zelda. Put your aimbot on, honey.
Oh, nice backup though.
$5 from Savage Wizrobe saying hopping on the train. Iron boots.
Oh, come on, Zelda. Aimbot, honey.
Aimbot, honey.
There you go. Good stuff.
This is really close to PB, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm only gonna be a couple minutes off PB here,
It's not bad.
especially for a marathon with all the safety saves.
Oh yeah, for
All
sure.
2 safety saves giving me what, 15 seconds or something.
And all the weird stuff that happened, like not even listed, like the cutscene
Yeah,
or whatever.
that was actually really weird.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
$5
Okay.
from Alexa saying, I can't woo because I'm a dragon, so I can roar instead. Choo choo.
All right, final phase is the quickest and easiest of the Ganon fights here. I need to not forget my iron boots. I'm gonna try and not forget.
Iron boots, iron boots.
Iron boots. I'm gonna equip them, and yeah, when I'm counting, when I say 2, say iron boots again.
I'll say, yeah, I got you. I got you.
The iron boots. Yeah, final phase is honestly like my favorite part of the entire, I don't know, last half an hour. It's just so much fun, just to wreck Ganondorf. Like normally this is a long and drawn out sword battle and like you're using all your hidden skills and stuff, but
Yeah.
what they didn't anticipate was jump spins. So what I'm gonna do is jump attack and quick spin midair. So rotate my control stick and I can kind of just stun lock Ganondorf.
Yeah, this fight is insane.
So that's
I just
1,
speedrun.
2,
Boots.
Catch that sniff and fish it.
3.
Iron boots! Iron boots!
got it. And that's time.
GG.
Nice, nice, nice.
Was that a 3:42:28 or something like that?
Not bad. Not bad.
That's not bad. So I was yeah, just about 3 minutes off of PB. So
For a
not bad at all.
marathon? That was pretty good for a marathon.
Yeah, it's not bad at all. So yeah, it looks like we do have time for credits because I'm underestimate, if that's correct.
Yeah, let's go for those credits.
Awesome. Yeah, and I just want to say a huge thank you to Fastest Furs for Life for having me. I really appreciate it. It's been a lot of fun. Thank you so much, Ian, for coming out and commentating. I know it was a little bit of short notice, but I really appreciate that, dude.
No worries, dude.
Yeah, it's been a great time. Thank you so much for having me.
So the whole reason why you want to put iron boots on before this fight, or before the end of the fight, is something funny happens in a few seconds.
Link's leg day.
Link's getting yoked, if you will.
Man, haven't we all felt like this at some point? Just the way Ganondorf is standing right now?
That's me every day, dude.
Yeah, it's literally every day.
It's Sunday night. I got work in the morning.
Pretty much. Yeah, so as I guess on the sidebar here, it has my Twitch name wrong. I'm actually Skuruwolf on Twitch. But yeah, you can check me out there. I speedrun Twilight Princess HD Monday to Thursday, midnight till 6 a.m. Pacific time. So 3:30 till about 9 a.m. Eastern. Of course, it's the prime DJ hours. Gotta love it. I hope to see you guys there. And thank you all so much for coming out to this event, raising money for charity, all the good stuff. I really, really appreciate it. That was my shoutouts, and of course Ian speedruns. I think he's working on Ocarina of Time 100% right now. Ian's a lot of fun to watch. Definitely check out his channel, Ian_Miles29. Except Ian spelled with an L right now.
Oh my god. Thanks, man.
And as your host, I, SonicMega, am very humbled that I could be a part of this Twilight Princess run. Thank you, TK, and everyone else who let me get involved. It was great to see this game played from start to finish. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Lots of fun. And there it is, leg day.
There you go. Link's hauling butts.
Yeah, I'd be breathing like that too, Link. I don't blame you, buddy.
Look, man, he's got to catch that sniff so he can fish it.
Exactly. Oh, and here's Midna's true form. If you've never seen the end of the game, Midna is actually the Twilight Princess.
Crystal again. World hacker with there. Beautiful girl with doom space.
Some last donations, if it's okay.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're just watching cutscenes at this point.
We got $50 from the Wayfaring Fox saying, "Fine, getting on the train. Thank you, Wayfaring." And we also got $20 from Prism Lizard saying, "Less a woo, more whatever the heck noise a lizard makes." My best guess is,
That's it. That's pretty good. Accurate. And now we get to listen to the awesome end soundtrack. And of course, all the cinematics of places we never went, like Fire Temple.
Yep.
Yeah, so huge shout out to the Twilight Princess HD speedrunning community. I know there was a couple of guys in chat. I saw Coral earlier, of course. It's a lot of fun. It's a great game. If you haven't played it casually, definitely check it out. I recommend it 100%. You can't go wrong. You get to be a wolfy good boy. You get to kill some enemies. It's just good stuff all around. And of course, it's a Zelda game, so you know it's good dungeons, good puzzles. And if you're ever looking to get into the speedrun, you can definitely send me a message on Twitch, on Discord. I'm actually working on guides right now. Like I have a guide up for the lake bed, boss key skip, things like that. If you're ever interested in learning, send me a message and I'm absolutely willing to help. And I know, of course, the whole community is out to help as well.
And since this is the end of the run, we have gone ahead and run all the names of people who donated. And the winner of the free Legend of Zelda game of choice is Coral. Koarl. Coral.
Congrats, Coral. I know Coral quite well. That's hilarious. Way to go, Coral.
So we'll do our best to get in touch with you, whether it's direct message or we'll figure something out. And yeah, we'll figure out what game you want. Congratulations.
That's hilarious. I can almost guarantee which one he's gonna choose.
Which one?
Twilight Princess HD digital version. I'm not speaking for Coral. Don't quote me on that, but I can almost guarantee.
Good. Hey, look, if I don't have to pay shipping costs, that's fine by me.
That's hilarious. You want a game, Coral? Oh yeah, Keith, you asked which dungeon was my favorite casually. Hands down, the Temple of Time. Love it. It is a lot of fun. You get to go around as a giant statue and destroy the entire temple. Smash things. Lots of fun.
Hey, it was a real pleasure to be able to watch this. It brought back a lot of good memories playing this game, and it reminded me of just a lot of really cool things that they made in this game. A lot of creative fights, a lot of creative temples, good stuff.
Absolutely. The developers put in a lot of effort with ideas. Maybe not quite as elaborate as Skyward Sword ideas-wise, but this was a very well-polished game with a great storyline and great characters.
Did you look at the ticker? Because we just hit $6,000.
What just happened? Holy
Yo!
We got a $2 donation from Lycopause saying, "Did someone say train? Choo choo, a woo." Followed by an $800 donation from Anonymous, going, "Great run to close out the event. Congrats to all the runners and organizers on a successful marathon. You're all amazing."
Holy cow, that is excellent. Thank you so much, Anonymous.
Now, I'm
not tearing up, you're tearing up.
So we did say the 6K incentive was that one of you would be giving away a 1980X. We also had someone offering a free copy of Celeste. And one of you was also going to give away a free game from the run list. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Well, it also means we passed 5,500. So I'm going to go ahead and pull another name here real quick. Actually, no. I'll reach out. I'll let you guys handle it. I want it to be for everyone who donated since you all contributed. So I'll get in touch with the staff. We'll figure out who wins the 5,500 incentive, and I'll reach out to them accordingly.
That is nuts. Thank you all so much. That is very generous. Congrats.